Yo, 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 yo. Young, what it is, pimpin'. What it do, what it do. Ugh. What it is. Dave Vaughn. What's up, Shane? Podcast in the building. What it do? Yo, so I had more time to look at that officer involved shooting. And yo, he should have known that was the police, man. I would have known, cause as I looked at, he was plain clothes, but looked like he had on a tactical vest. You could tell that was the police. You could tell it was the police. I don't know what yo was thinking. Shit was a bad move, bad decision. Must ain't want to go back to jail. Try to get away. But everything else I said still stands. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything else still stands, man. You still gotta announce yourself, yo. It's still not safe to be plain clothes and just start following motherfuckers, you know, because everybody different. Like if I was in that situation, what is it called? If I was in that situation, I'd have known that was the police. I'd have known that was the police. But it still don't change the dynamics of, you know, because people wonder why. Oh, I got you. People wonder why in our community we treat the police like that. It's because, yo, the police broke the trust. There's no trust between the community and the police, yo. In order for any community to work properly, you know, you gotta have a relationship with the officers that police the community. But we don't have that. And it ain't our fault. And I think that's what most people get it wrong at, you know, because a lot of people look at us and say, yo, why the fuck they act like that toward the police? Yo, because the police act like this first. It's only so much disrespect you gonna take, man. Hey, yo, I done seen the police pull off when gunshots got fired. With my own eyes. You heard me? Shots get fired, skirt, they be out of there. They be out of there. Come back 5 minutes later with three units. So I got robbed. The first time I got robbed, it was the police is right there. But yeah, I just want people to understand that. Yeah, hell yeah. That's where I was at. I was sitting on my motherfucking porch. Shots got the firing on Garrison. Shots got the firing on Garrison. Them motherfuckers coming down the bar. You hear me? They coming down the bar. Man, I'm like, damn, if they'd have just drove straight, they could have rolled right into the motherfucking action. Them motherfuckers bang the left. Skirt! Got the fuck out of there, you hear me? Yeah, yo. That's how but that's and Shane, see that's the thing, yo, people don't understand, bro. Like people don't get it on the outside. You know, we get it, the ones that's in the community. But people on the outside of the community, they don't understand, yo, because they think our police is their police, and it's a totally different construct. It's totally different. It's a totally different construct, yo. But I just want people to understand, yo, for the detractors and the people that don't get it, yo, The police broke the trust first. I mean, it was a time people went to police. I can't tell you the year, but I'm sure it was a time. You know what I mean? Before the civil rights movement. Y'all gotta remember, the black community and the police department relationship been fractured ever since they was sicking Dugs on us. You know what I mean? Like, nobody never apologized. They never mended that. It just got worse. It just evolved. So when you wonder why in some communities we treat the police like that, it's because they treated us like that. And like I said before, it's only so much disrespect you're gonna take, yo. You know what I mean? In order to get respect, you gotta give respect. So if you're not respecting the people that you're supposed to be policing, then or supposed to be protecting, then you can't expect them people to respect you. And that's where it's at. It's like a standstill. And it ain't never gonna change until they take accountability. Yeah, yo, like, for real. Like, nothing ever changed from that. Like, I think most people don't get it. Most people say things like, well, we came so far. Where? We came far where? We didn't come far nowhere. It's still issues. Them motherfuckers, man. Yo, I didn't say police ride a motherfucker around. Have him think he talent. Had a whole neighborhood think this motherfucker talent. Whole time, they just on bullshit. Ride you around, drop you off. Make you look like you got booked. So now you come back outside, you telling niggas, man, they just dropped me off. Nigga looking at you crazy, think you told something. That was a tactic. Yo, people died for that, man. People died for that. Told y'all about the story earlier. Gun Trace Task Force took the dude money. Got him killed, man. Lying about police shootings, and that's another thing too, y'all. People gotta understand that don't know. Yo, police has been lying about officer-involved shootings for 30 years. You know what I mean? Body cameras came out. I think Baltimore was the first city to get body cameras. Body cameras came out what? Freddie Gray, 2012. George Floyd, 2015. That shit wasn't that long ago. Wasn't that long ago, man. So the community is always going to scrutinize the police. And they got right to. You know what I mean? Got right to, yo, because motherfuckers have been done dirty by them. Everybody. You know what I mean? They might have did your mother dirty, your father, your uncle, your cousin, your kids. Like, that shit run deep. Run deep. Yeah. Always. Always, y'all. And it ain't changed. And nobody never took accountability for it. Nobody never said, damn, yo, we been doing the black community bad. You know what I mean? We doing them bad, man. I just don't like how early we had all them trolls in there talking about why black people can't just obey the law. And like, yo, what you talking about? Like, yo, know what you talking about before you speak. Like, that's the problem with people. A lot of people just be speaking, they don't know nothing. They just know what they see. That's why I always talk about media manipulation and imagery. Like, yo, that shit real, man. I told y'all, yo, a lot of people across the world only know us by what they see on TV. They don't know us personally. They never lived in our communities. They never even had a bad interaction with a black person. I remember a time, they probably still doing it, where you walk past a white woman, shit, grab her purse. That was real. That wasn't nothing. That shit wasn't just in the movies. It might have been perpetrated through the movies or portrayed through the movies, and took on a life of its own. But that was a real thing. You know what I mean? They really used to be scared. Like, I ain't ready to rob you, man. Like, what the fuck you? Everybody ain't never robbed nobody day in my life. Not me. I'm just saying in general. Like, fuck, make you think I'm gonna rob you? You ain't never had a bad interaction with a black person. You just watched the movie. You might have watched Men's Society or something. You know what I mean? You watching the media propaganda. Think it's something that it ain't. I don't do no cat. Yeah, Dwayne, that shit real. That shit real, yo. I done been pulled over without giving a ticket more times than I've been pulled over and given the ticket. Now, some people would think, well, that's good. No, it ain't. That means they ain't had no reason to pull me over most of the time. I remember, I got pulled over out Baltimore County 3 times in a month with my kids in the car every time. 3 times in a month. One time they pulled me over talking about I owed a comptroller of Maryland. Like, what? You pulled me over because I owed a comptroller of Maryland? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what the... I think I owed for, like, taxes or something. Like, it was some old crazy shit. Like, they pulled me over for that. I got pulled over another time because the dude said I fit the description of a guy that ran away or some shit like that. A guy that's missing. Like, missing? Well, obviously I ain't missing. The fuck, if I'm riding around, I ain't missing, my nigga. Like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Banged you in the middle of the street. I'm just saying, yo. I can go on for days. Got pulled over before. They tell me they smell weed in the car the whole time. I don't even smoke. They want to search my car. They want to bring the dogs through. I don't even smoke weed. Got pulled over one time, me and my cousin on, we was on like Milton. We was over east some motherfucking where. Man, we went through a stop sign. Yo, we went through a stop sign. Yo, they swarmed us. I'm talking about guns drawn, flashlights in our face. It's like 6 cops around the car. This is around the time people remember when they used to be in the city on horses. I mean, I don't know who was the mayor at the time, but they used to have trainees. Who remember that? Who remember they used to bring the trainees outside? They used to walk the beat, deep as a bitch. They used to be riding around on horses. Who old enough in Baltimore remember they used to do that? That was probably like 2002. 2002, 2001. Yeah, yo, that shit was real back then. Outside deep as a bitch. Like, yo, what the fuck? Outside deep as a motherfucker. Harassing niggas. Grabbed my man all out the car. Ripped my cousin's seats all up. Like, I'm just trying to explain to people, yo, over time, yo, that builds a negative perception of them. You feel me? And then say if you got, like my kids probably don't trust the police just because I don't. I remember one time my girl, she was with my son. And I think she was at work. And a police officer that worked at her job spoke to him. That nigga just looked at him. Ain't say nothing. You feel me? Just because how they treat his father. He done witnessed it. So it keeps the cycle going. You understand what I'm saying? It keeps the cycle going. You got kids witnessing their fathers and their uncles go through mistreatment by police. So they grow up with this disdain for police. And it keeps the cycle going. But the police is the problem. It's not the people. Yo, do you know how many years? Do you know how many years the police was treating people unjustly, getting away with it? killing people, getting away with it, lying about the series of events. Yo, that shit went on for like probably like 30 years, man. Yo, people gotta understand, yo. This shit just calmed down. Like, I know we seeing them on videos, but it was way worse than that. It calmed down when body camera footage got involved. But before body cam footage, man, we could probably pull up the numbers. We probably can pull up the numbers, yo. Police involved shootings from the 90s all the way up to from 1990 to 2005. And then probably look them up from 2005 on. I guarantee the numbers tell a story. I guarantee the numbers tell a story. Cause back at that time everything was justified. Cause it wasn't no refuting it. That's why I be tripping off now. Even with the Diddy case, how they try to make it seem like that now you can trust criminals. You know what I mean? For the longest time, a criminal word wasn't trustworthy. They always took the police account of events. But in Diddy trial, they got a whole bunch of criminals on the stand and they telling you they victims. See, this is why I be getting them concepts from, for people that don't know why I be saying what I be saying. That's why it doesn't make sense. It's like they wanna bend the rules. They only wanna bend the rules when it's beneficial. Whenever it's beneficial, they like to spin the rules in their favor. But they don't want to follow none of the rules that they set. Like, yo, if criminals' word ain't credible, criminals' word ain't credible. Don't just make it credible when it's beneficial. Don't bring this nigga on the stand and have him testify on me, knowing this nigga worse than me. Like, how the fuck, how you gonna bring Woody on the stand and make Woody a stand-up witness? Like, what the fuck? If it was Woody word against a police officer, y'all wouldn't want to hear shit Woody got to say. But since it's against me, his word credible. You can believe him now. Yo, that is bullshit, yo. Yeah. Straight up. Saying like eyewitness testimony, they know it's not credible, but they're trying to use it to convict. Yeah. Motherfuckers get it wrong, man. Most witnesses give multiple statements. I'm just saying, yo. If people was wondering where I get a lot of this shit from, experience. You know what I mean? That's why I be telling people, I don't just be talking. Like, if I'm speaking on something, best believe I know about it. I try not to speak on things I don't know about. Like, we didn't done videos where we didn't cover topics, and I don't say nothing because I'm trying to learn. You know what I mean? I'm trying to learn what the fuck this shit really about. But if I'm speaking about something, like when it comes down to the community and the mistreatment by the police department, I understand it, yo. You grow up not liking them because of how they treat you. Motherfuckers ain't born like that. Like, similar to how they say King Von was a demon. King Von wasn't no demon. King Von turned into who he was. Demons are born. Nigga, he wasn't born like that. Black people, black children are not born not liking the police. They built that shit over time. And how they build it, they build it through experience and experience, basically. Either they go through it or they watch their family and friends go through it. But it's the police fault, not the people. See, the police is a culture. Like I was explaining earlier. A lot of people is similar to like going in the government. I mean, you think you're going to go in the government and become the change, and you end up being just like everybody else because it's a culture. It's a culture. You can't change that culture. They got to change the culture first. One man ain't going to do it. Two men ain't going to do it. They remove them before they change the culture. They get them out of there. There's stories online when people talk about, yeah, I became a police officer and this happened to me and that happened to me. And I always wanted to be a cop because I wanted to help the community. Didn't they realize that, yo, that ain't the police job. Not where we from. Police job ain't to help the community where we from, man. It's to arrest, and indict, and terrorize, and intimidate. That's what it is. That's why the community was so upset. Even if the shooting was justified. It's like, yo, motherfuckers is tired of you niggas. We got enough problems. Y'all add to it. Y'all supposed to be the solution. They supposed to be the solution, man. They ain't the solution. They add to the confusion. Like I said, and I'm not saying this is his situation, but how many people, yo, for one, it's a system that takes that preys on black men early. The goal is to take your gun rights. That's the goal. That's why that's even a thing. Like, yo, that shouldn't even be a thing, yo. You get convicted of a felony one time, you lose your right to arm yourself. Think about that. Think about that, though, y'all. Forever. In some cases. I can't never get my gun rights back. Ever. Rest of my life. Because of the decision I made when I was 19 years old. Yo, that's not cool. But at the same time, so now for the rest of your life, you faced with the decision of, do I protect myself and make sure I make it home at night? Or do I not protect myself, get killed, what's the decision you make? Jail or death? That's a hell of a decision, ain't it? Jail or death. Either you carry it and risk going to jail. Fuck, bitch. What the fuck is this? Flying around in my car. Either you carry it and risk going to jail, or you don't carry it and risk somebody killing you. But I said that to say that's a game. That's how they keep the door open. Yo, you know how many fewer gun arrests, how many federal gun arrests and state gun arrests it would be if they gave some people their gun rights back after they haven't committed crimes? After they got off papers. I ain't talking like immediately after you come home. I'm talking about after your papers is done. You didn't committed all your did all your obligations. You know how much that it changed the dynamic of the situations of people, of everything. If they was to give people their gun rights back. Now you can license, you can carry legally. But they don't want to do that because that fucks up the system. That fucks up the system. Now you got people 30 years old that ain't committed a crime or ain't get caught for a crime since they was 18. Now they gotta risk going to prison when they really make it home at night. They ain't trying to harm nobody. They ain't trying to harm a soul. They just trying to go home. And if it's a situation between, am I gonna go home and you gonna go home? It's gonna be me. But no. Now you got rubber going to prison for 15 years because the feds might pick it up. It's a dirty game, man. Dirty system. They say you can write the governor for a pardon, but what's the odds of that? What's the odds of getting pardoned by the governor? What's the odds of that? We need to look that up. You look up them numbers, see what it say. I just trying to give people perspective, yo, because a lot of people don't know. And then you got so many people speaking that they don't know. It's just people just being misled. You got people like Charleston White. You know what I mean? Fucking the game up. People think he spit the truth. That's why I said the other day, yo, I don't want to hear him say nothing I do with. Because my mind is set on him. I don't need to be confused. That's what these guys confuse you with rhetoric. They do a lot of flawed activity, do a lot of fuck shit, but then they say something you can relate to. And it kind of leave you like, all right, yeah, he ain't that bad, but no, he is, bitch. It's real or nothing. It's real or nothing. See if you're going to keep real or you ain't. Ain't no in-between, yo. Ain't never been no in-between. I don't know when we start allowing people to play the middle. To be 50. You know, 50-50 shit. See if you're 100 or you nothing, man. That's all it is. Yeah, hell yeah. You catch a drug charge, they take your gun rights. Why the fuck you take my gun rights for a drug charge? Now I gotta get pardoned by the governor. I caught a distribution charge when I was motherfucking 19. I'm 35 years old. Yeah, I caught a step on a gun case when I was 18, right? I don't have a whole bunch of charges. Like, I ain't one of them locked up niggas. But there was a period in my time from like 18 to like 20 where I was getting locked up. Like 2 years, I might have got locked up about 4 times. Or, let me see. No, I wasn't no 4 times. It was 3 times. But I had a lot of police encounters where I had to go to court and shit like that. But I caught a gun case. A possession of marijuana. They raided my house. Because my homeboys did some dumb shit. They ain't had nothing to do with me. They raided my house. Found a firearm and some empty bags of weed. This when they locked you up for weed since 2004. 2003, 2004. So I go to court, they put the gun charge on step. So part of my supervisions, or my what's the word I'm looking for? Well, part of what I had to do, I don't know why I can't never think of words when I'm on live. That should be crazy. Stipulations was I had to stay out of trouble for a year. So after that, I got locked up for the body right after that. But in reality, that case came before that. But I got locked up after that. Next year. So once I finally get home, I try to get the gun charge removed off my record. They tell me I can't get it removed because I caught the other case. So the other case ain't going nowhere. But I was just like, damn. So just because I caught this case, I can't get the how does that even correlate? You know what I mean? Like, how? Why? Like, these are 2 separate cases. It ain't like it's the same case. Because I caught this case, and I guess I didn't finish the stipulations. Now, this case is stuck on my record forever, and this one. Like, oh, that's bogus, man. I was mad as shit. I didn't even know they could deny expungement. I thought once you finish everything, you can get all charges expunged, except for, like, murder and shit like that. But that's a way to keep the door open, man. So you got a lot of people just trying to protect themselves, but they subject to the same things that BJ went through. You subject to the same consequences just for trying to protect itself in a dangerous environment. And everybody don't got the resources to leave. Shouldn't have to just leave. I mean, if that's where you from, that's where all your friends are. Shouldn't have to just leave. I mean, oh yeah, dude. It is funny, right? It's even funnier that for years, for decades, they've been criminalizing black men for weed, but they don't let. But then when they was legalizing it, they wasn't letting black men be growers. Like we should have been number one in the line. The whole weed business should have been given to the black man. To be honest, that's what really should have happened. Yo, they used to fuck you over for weed, yo. Like I said before, it was times when a possession of marijuana stopped you from getting a job. A possession of marijuana, y'all. Think about that. Think about what marijuana is now. We ain't talking about distribution. We talking about possession. Yeah, they're a refugee application for that. How many people turned to the streets because of that? How many people got stuck in the street life because they couldn't get a job because they had a possession of marijuana charge on their record? I'm willing to say thousands. I'm willing to say thousands. Probably tens of thousands. What's up, G-Bag? No, y'all, because people just don't. Like I said, I just be mad that people don't get it. It ain't really that hard to understand, man. If somebody been mistreating you for years and years and years and years and years and years, everybody got a breaking point. And for years, black people been at their breaking point with the police in our community. They've been at their breaking point. You ride past the motherfucker, they banging you in the middle of the street. Like, what the fuck? You got the seatbelt on and everything. Following you for 3, 4, 5 blocks. Don't even pull you over. Just had you in that bitch sweating. You ain't even dirty. You ain't even dirty. Like, that's the intimidation shit. You minding your business. You might be going to pick your kids up from school. They fucking following you everywhere you go. Every turn, you hitting the blankers. You complete stops. They still just cause they can. That's the shit people don't understand, man. You know what I mean? It's like trauma, man. Fuck is you following me for? And it don't just happen once in your life. You might have went through that shit 5 to 10 times. Don't need to pull you over though. Follow you for 3 blocks, 4 blocks. Every turn you make. Like I said, I done got pulled over more times without getting a ticket than I did actually get a ticket. I didn't talk to people at my last job. I didn't talk to people that never been pulled over. Like, what? You ain't never been pulled over? Of course they wasn't black. Like, wow. I done got pulled over 7 times in a year before. You feel me? Might only got 1 ticket. I done got pulled over 7 times in 1 year. Everything on the car straight. Seatbelt on. No ticket. I'm just giving you a warning. Whole time I just want to see who in the car. And most times I ride with my kids. Now I've been a day one father from the beginning. I don't be with a whole bunch of niggas. Me and my kids. That's the shorty situation, unfortunate. Yeah, it's justified, but you never know his mind frame. You know what I mean? Situation. Ain't no time when the last time he was in trouble. They say he was prohibited. Okay, fire. But that's what I said, that's the play. To always leave that door open. We lock you up early. You know what I mean? Take your gun. Yo, they want, for the most part, as a black man, they want your gun rights taken away at 18. As soon as you get them bitches, they want them gone. As soon as you get them, they want them gone, man. They gonna make sure they gone. And we ain't talking about them when police used to be planting drugs on niggas. They still do that. But it was way more prevalent in the early 2000s and the 90s. They planting drugs on niggas. Lock you up for a gun and want yours. We all know these stories, man. Even if it didn't happen to us personally, we all know the stories. These stories are real. They're not made up. Like, these things really happen, and it went on for decades. Not months, not weeks, not years, decades. We got decades of mistreatment. Eventually people gonna erupt. And that's what you've been saying. That's for people that don't know. That's what y'all been saying. The eruption. Tired of them motherfuckers. That's why when the police did that, that's why the whole community was like, yo, man, they was going off on him. And it wasn't no saving him. He got shot 20 times, man. They try to make it seem like, whoa, the community stopped him. He got shot 20 times, man. That boy was dead, man. Wasn't no saving him, man. I just wanted to address that for real. You know, I did a video earlier. You know, for the most part, I try to stay out of police-involved shootings. I told y'all that, because it get too political. But this not political, so I spoke on it. Once something get political, I stay the fuck away from it. What I mean by political, I mean by that shit is all over mainstream news. Black Lives Matter done got involved. And I said, well, nah. I don't need to speak on these things. Because you never know the real agenda or the real motive. You know, a lot of times they just use those situations to push another narrative. So I back out of completely. But I wanted to talk about Diddy, yo. Diddy was back in court today. I don't even know what happened for real. I want to see what happened. But I was watching the Tissa Tales girl. And I just be like, yo, she just be pushing some of the fakest narratives over that bitch. Like, it gotta be majority bots that watch that shit and comment. Like, there's no way that's real, these real people. I mean, I can't say it's no, it's possible. There's a lot of ignorant people in the world, so it's definitely possible. But the amount of praise that I be saying in them comments when she is overtly lying. You feel me? She's obviously pushing the narrative, twisting the story. So, and I'm gonna talk about Harvey Weinstein and them too, but I want to talk about this first. So, she did a live earlier talking about why Kanye West was in court. Like, he couldn't possibly be there just to support. It had to have been some nefarious reason as to why. Yeah, wait till y'all hear this shit, man. I was listening to it, I turned it on, I said, y'all gotta watch this with the guys, man, with the people. Because y'all gotta hear this shit. We gotta break this shit down. Like, the way she spun this story was crazy. I just put laughing emojis in the comments. Like, oh, you out of control, you know it. Ain't no way you got to sit back and after you listen to these videos and be like, damn, I'm lying like a motherfucker. Hope I get rich before they catch me. That seems like that's the game plan. You know what I mean? Push fuck shit, fake shit. Get rich before they catch you. Before they catch on, they be already rich already. So they're like, fuck it. I done sold out. I done made my bread. I don't know. You know what I mean? I done tricked these people for 5 years. Like Charleston White. But Charleston White should have fought me in the box ring so I could have knocked his eye out. That was a play. You know what I mean? I ain't participating in no plays. We gonna box, nigga. I wanna see your eye out on the ground. I want you to pick it up. I wanna see that bitch roll. For real though. I need to see Charles White in the cage match. Motherfucking cage match like wrestling. Only one of us walking out this cage, last man standing. You hear me? Remember they said the last man standing matches in wrestling? I challenged Charleston White to a last man standing match. In the world ain't big enough for the both of us. Somebody got to go, man. Somebody got to go, Charlie. And I got 2 eyes. So it ain't gonna be me. See Jim Jones drop. Like, no, it's this. Hey, Jim Jones better lead it. Jim Jones a clown. I'm done with Jim Jones. I got on his ass the other day. He must want to hear. The next day after we did that live, I did another one getting on his ass. He admitted he a clout chaser. I told you, once somebody admit they're a clout chaser, I can't fuck with them no more. I don't fuck with clout chasers. Yo, as a community, we didn't used to fuck with clout chasers. Like, I don't know how we made this a thing. Like, them attention, clout chasers ain't nothing but attention seekers. Yo, we used to ignore attention seekers. If people old enough to remember. You didn't fuck with attention seekers. Like, yo, you out here seeking attention. You out here trying to get validation. You're a clown. Nigga, be who you are. Nigga, be yourself, nigga. Fuck you trying to seek validation from people. But since they didn't attach the dollar sign to it, you know, it wasn't never a dollar sign attached to attention seekers. It is a female trait. Yeah, that's what happened, OD. They put a price tag to it. Now you got, slowly but surely, you got so many people conforming, it's sickening. Like, it was cool. I mean, it never was cool. But when the young boys did, at least you understood. You know, you can chalk it up as ignorance. You know what I mean? But you got grown-ass men doing it, 50 and 40 plus and 35 and up. It's like, yo, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, we didn't come up in this world, bro. And I understand you gotta evolve, yo, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Not respecting clout chasers wasn't something that we needed to change. You know what I mean? Not respecting people that dealt with you on some level and then fell out with you and start talking bad about you. We didn't used to respect them people. Them people didn't get no respect. Jane Deere wouldn't have got respect in the early 2000s for that shit he doing. They would have looked at him like a clown. You're a clown, bro. That was your man. Used to guard his body, nigga. You'd take a bullet for him. Now all of a sudden he this horrible person, and he the devil, and Yo, here another one. I watched I hit all the dialogue. Like, yo, once you get somebody with a real perspective on your platform to talk about Diddy, fuck you keep bringing this motherfucker Jane Dale up that bitch to lie. He don't even know what he be talking about. Like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo. I be so disappointed in the internet, in the people in the characters that we got to watch. I be like, yo, this nigga. I see why everybody ignorant, slow, as a whole. Cause look at what we watching. These niggas dumb as shit. What the fuck is going on down here? That nigga said, yeah, Diddy done, man. You know, they proved the Rico. What the fuck? We must not be paying attention to the same case, nigga, cause I think Diddy's defense team did a masterful job breaking down the prosecution case. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? It's either you lying or you just don't know law. Or you just clown. I don't know. It could be a number of reasons. But he ain't trying to speak no truth. If you had so much to say, Jane, why you ain't get on the stand and say it, nigga? Hey, man. Make it legal and right and make it, I mean, stab it. Get on that stand and tell the world what you seen, what you heard. That way it's legally binding. Fuck boy. Niggas be clowns for real. What's up, Sharice? I'm just saying, we didn't used to respect them people, y'all. Them people didn't used to get respect. They actually got disrespected. Like, I don't want to hear you talk bad about trying to you been hanging with your for all these years. When that was your man, when he was putting money in your pocket, you'd have jumped off the fucking moon with him. You'd have moon jumped with that nigga. Now he ain't paying you no more. Now he this, he that, he this. Nah, fuck out of here, nigga. I ain't trying to hear that shit. You got a vendetta. You got some type of vendetta. The niggas keep bringing these people up there to interview them. That's what make me think, like, what's y'all motive, y'all? Y'all see this man getting done dirty and y'all keep interviewing people. The muddy the waters. That's why I want to talk about the Epstein and Weinstein situation, because people really think that Diddy is like Weinstein or Epstein, and no, he the fuck not. Like, I think people must have forgot what they was alleged to doing. Man, what the fuck is you doing? Man, ain't no cars coming, man. I think people must have forgot Epstein allegations and Weinstein allegations and the amount of victims. I think people must have forgot, man. To compare Diddy to those guys, like what? They say Epstein might have had 1,000 victims. Weinstein had hundreds. Like, yo, how the fuck is y'all compare them niggas to Diddy? Diddy freaked off with his girlfriends. Weinstein was motherfucking having women fuck for movie roles. You know what I mean? Sexually grabbing people's asses and shit. See, the reason why people think that is because people listen to them frivolous ass lawsuits that nobody's getting paid from. Tony Busby not getting a payment from any of them lawsuits. He already dropped 20 of them. None of them people getting paid. I'm at the crib now. Diddy's situation is more like Cosby and R. Kelly's, because both of them was railroaded. Regardless of what people, you know, R. Kelly was wild as shit, for lack of a better word. But R. Kelly still was railroaded. He ain't get a fair trial. We talked about the R. Kelly situation. R. Kelly gonna get out. I guarantee R. Kelly be home in the next 2 years. Remember I said it. You heard it here first. Heard it here first. R. Kelly will be home in the next 2 years. So when it happens, y'all can revert back to this video. I'm like, damn, keep it, you need to start that shit. That shit they did to R. Kelly was dirty as a motherfucker, man. Listen to that man. Listen to that man, personal. Listen to that man personal phone conversations and gave it to the prosecution. And the prosecution gave it to his girlfriend. That man, that was dirty as a motherfucker. That was dirty, man. Let's see what y'all can watch while. Nico, be quiet. I gotta let these dogs out. What can we watch while I do this shit with these dogs? Scan South Sands TV just did a hell of a video on Wack 100. We could talk about that because this is what I've been telling y'all. I told y'all Wack had a motive. He had an agenda. Yo got to talk about it. There's a mass shooting. 4 people got shot in Baltimore. Let's check this out while I get my duds together. It's a hell of a movie. I mean, hell of a
no matter what kind of work your team does, Asana
Wack 100, handler and business partner.
To campaign management.
Look how you break this shit down. It'd be crazy, yo, because I be telling y'all this and I don't be having none of this information. All those shit just be obvious to me sometimes.
Strawberries on top. Kids love the chocolate. Try our new chocolate strawberry pancakes kids meal. Just
Israel and Iran have been trading strike.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers and edify through entertainment. The other day, Smoked Out went deep into the vault and pulled out an oldie but goodie, a classic Doc Hicks video. In this video, Doc is speaking with a certain individual that wanted to remain anonymous, and this individual breaks down CS2 Back's connection to E1 and Alan Grunblatt. This was a solid piece of content, and a lot was revealed in it. So today, we're gonna go through it, dissect it, and as always, put some paint where it ain't. There's a lot happening in the world right now.
The U.S. bombers carried out strikes today at 3 Iranian nuclear sites. One at Natanz, a site that had previously been hit by Israel. Israel and Iran have been trading strikes since Israel's surprise attack last Friday. Israel has already attacked the site at Natanz, now the United States.
An American airbase in Qatar coming under fire from medium and short-range ballistic missiles. Iran's supreme leader posting just moments ago, his nation, quote, will not surrender to anyone's violation.
Let's now switch to Israel. Go to our chief foreign correspondent, Trey Yanks. He's live in Tel Aviv with the latest, not only from Israel, but what do you make of the fact that this appeared to be a pretty limited response, Trey?
Yeah, John, good afternoon. We're getting more information from regional sources right now on this Iranian attack targeting the Al-Udeid air base.
A lot moving beneath the surface. And if you're paying attention, you can see and feel it. And what's wild is how all of this ties together. The industry, the politics, and the posturing. So let's get into it. Let's break this down and see what we can uncover.
Now, this first part that I'm playing is a discussion with an individual that we're going to remain anonymous at this particular time. You know, just if this individual decides that he wants to put out his name, but he's close to this situation. I'm not going to disclose his area or anything because he has a lot of ties and piecing different things together. But this is a discussion that we're going to start, and we're going to start a little series. Now, it's named Tupac Decoded, now Wack 100's Association to E1. Now, this first part is about an hour, I mean, it's about half an hour, where just this first initial discussion of us just talking on the phone. Now, after this, I'm playing this for you guys first because I want y'all to get an understanding of what maybe the 3 or 4 part series is going to be about, where we're going to actually sit down, not sit down, but I'm going to have them on the phone, and I'm going to actually interview them. I'm going to do different questions so I can break things down. Now, this is the reason why I'm doing it this way, because I want to give you guys the opportunity in the comment section where if there's any type of questions that you want answered about this whole situation that you may have, you know, after listening to this, if it haven't been answered or if it maybe pop different questions up in your mind, I want you to leave it in the comment section so I can write it down. And the ones I feel like that's most prevalent to this situation, I'm going to ask them, and we're going to piece some things together to create dialogue. This is for the sole purposes to create dialogue. So go ahead and check this out and holler at your boy, this DOC. Peace.
Now, before Wack 100 even politic and opened his mouth and said he was working for these dudes, people that's already know a little bit about what's going on already know who E1 is. You feel me?
Yeah.
They're basically getting paid. They're basically a company, people, to basically destroy the legacy and also, like I mentioned, push the false narrative that Orlando Anderson was the one who killed Pop.
So now you've really got to ask yourself, why are E1 and Alan Grumblatt invested in pushing the narrative that Orlando Anderson killed Tupac? Why are they so concerned with that version of the story? What's the agenda? Who exactly are they trying to protect? Because when people go this hard to control the narrative, it's never just about clearing things up. It's about covering something up. So the question isn't just what happened. The real question is, who benefits from the lie?
You see what I'm saying? These are the people that are involved with the movie. These are the same people that are involved with Folkmaster Flex, all of a sudden just having this random ass rant that can't nobody understand where the fuck it came from.
Would have never did that. Biggie would have never talked about this situation. And I'm gonna tell you what I fucking hate about. I'm gonna tell you what I hate. And people always want to ask me why I said it 20 years later. People always say why I said it 20 years later. I said it when the fucking shit was going on. And Biggie wouldn't have fucking died if that nigga hadn't lied. He lied. Y'all niggas worship him.
Could it be this right? Just
Folkmaster, you know Folkmaster Spectre, you know he a puppet. Yo, a lot of these guys are puppets, man. A lot of them. And that's what I'm noticing about these rap guys. Yo, most of these rap dudes that take a bag. They take a bag to say anything. Look at Jim Jones, man. Like, Jim Jones saying that admitting that he's a clout chaser. Just open my eyes up about all these niggas. Yo, they will all take a bag to say anything. Like, it don't gotta be in the best interest of the people or nothing. They just want the money. This rant was random as a motherfucker.
This is Alan Grunblatt's money working in real time. So now we see exactly what the elites are spending their money on. Guys like this. This guy Flex is sitting in front of a camera, crying, trying to push the idea that Tupac is the reason Biggie got killed.
He is in the
And it was because of some lie he
That's
told.
it, and that's all. You're right.
This is what happens when the check clears. This is what their money does. It will have grown men out here grooming and cooning on camera, rewriting history for clout and a couple dollars. Flex didn't just say it. He performed it. Got on camera, made up a story about Tupac being responsible for Biggie's death, and then cried about it. This is how far some of these dudes will go for approval, not truth or justice. Just a paycheck and a pat on the head from the people holding the purse.
Never, ever said nothing
That's why he got Wack 100 all of a sudden calling Tupac mama a dope fiend and all this other shit, and people just don't understand where the fuck it's coming from.
You don't know what the fuck Pop was taught. Keeping it real, his mom was a dope fiend. She was a Harriet Tubman. You clowns talk this shit like dude was Malcolm X or some shit. He was a rapper that womanized, did drugs, and preached violence.
I told you, yo, Wack 100 role is to slander anybody that got any type of love or credibility in the black community. That's his role. I noticed it when he started calling out people that ratted. Or not people that ratted. He started calling out people that didn't rat and try to put snitch allegations on their name. Yo, that is very strange, man. The Larry Hoover situation, strange. The BG situation, strange. He tried to call Boosie a rat. Meanwhile, he the rat. You understand what I'm saying? Like, his goal is to slander. Meanwhile, he hangs with rats. He hangs with 6ix9ine. He vouched for Troy Ave. Now what Scandals from Los Angeles TV is saying is, this is an agenda placed on by a company that employs Wack 100 and the rest of these guys.
It was common of X-Clan, 9-Tree XXD.
So now y'all can see exactly why Porky's been acting up on the internet, doing all this clown behavior, pulling stunts, stirring up mess. It's really not that complicated. It's because of his handler, the one pulling the strings behind him.
We all got handlers, Chuck. Chuck, we all have a handler. Stop it, Wack. You do, I got a handler.
And here's what you got to understand. Whenever you see somebody who looks like us get on camera, saying or doing things that most of us would never say or do.
Bosco, Boski, every other word, blood.
Yo, how long have I been saying that? Yo, this ain't us. Yo, we don't do shit like this at 40-something years old, man. Yeah, I've been trying to. I'm glad he put this in video form because I ain't been having the time to do it. But yo, we don't act like this at 40, at 50. This is an agenda, man. This is orchestrated. It's not normal behavior from a black man that's 40-something years old.
Blood. Fuck you, slob. Spider load. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, crab ass nigga.
9 times out of 10, there's somebody exactly like Alan Grumblatt standing behind them. That's how this game works. They don't come out and say it themselves. No, they use people who look like us, so it goes undetected. So you won't question it. When you ask yourself, why are these guys doing this? It's because there's always a very wealthy somebody behind them, with a different agenda. And guys like Porky and Flex, they're just the house niggas they send to carry it out.
It's coming from these niggas getting checks that are cut from E1. The first person, I can say the first person, but Greg Cady, the cop who was involved with, this cop was involved with the Biggie case, you know, getting everything together and whatnot. This dude was knocked off the LAPD for changing witness testimonies. So he was already fired by the LAPD. So why is E1 having him as the person who's creating this documentary called The Murder?
We know Wack ain't tough at it. He screamed, "Don't do it, Eugene!" No, Eugene Henley. We ain't forgot Wack. We'll never forget that. The biggest gangster on the internet screaming, "Don't do it, Eugene Henley." No, we ain't never gonna forget that. You ain't living that down. We ain't hopped on his ass about that in a while either. Might gotta put that in the title tomorrow. Don't do it. No. Bluffing ass nigga.
See what I'm saying?
Draws. I forgot he said draws.
They're all working for the same entity. E1 not only is in control of Pac, but they're also in control of Dr. Martin Luther King, and they're also in control of Biggie Smalls as well, with their likeness.
Skip the rental counter with Turo. Rent just about any car, just about anywhere. talk?
Out there letting Adam disrespect him in his face. He don't even realize it. 'Cause he's so fucking stupid.
You know why? Prince, the famous rock star.
So they're all working for the same entity. E1 not only is in control of Pac, but they're also in control of Dr. Martin Luther King, and they're also in control of Biggie Smalls as well, with their likeness.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means? Nobody does. It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central.
So basically, this company has, if they wanted to say Martin Luther King was a gay Muslim, they could, because they had, and his family couldn't do shit about it, because basically they own the rights to him. You see what I'm saying?
See, this is one of the key things they do in the business world, especially in Hollywood. After you die, they still want to be able to profit off your name, your image, and your likeness. That's why Dave Chappelle said, if you ever read those contracts, you'll see phrases like, in perpetuity throughout the universe. Yeah, the universe. That means if they set up shop on Mars, they can still slap your face on merch and stream your voice through satellites. You're gone, but they're still eating off you. In perpetuity means forever, even outliving the contract itself. And this is exactly what happens when people sign those industry contracts. It's not just a business deal. It's basically like you selling your soul. You hand over your identity, your story, your legacy, forever. And they turn it into a product. So when folks tell you, read the fine print, this is what they're talking about. Because once you sign, they own you. Not just for this life, but for the next one too.
Now, you gotta know who E1 is. They're connected somehow, some way with Interscope. With Time Warner. Everybody knows Time Warner and Interscope, Jimmy Iovine, all that stuff. They're all in bed with each other.
Yes, they're all in bed together. Same people, same
Yeah, they got all
network,
corner
same
stuff.
agenda. They're all part of that same culture Donald Sterling was talking about. The one I broke
What's up,
down in
Chelsea,
that
baby?
documentary I dropped a while back. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch it. It's all there plain as day. They've all worked together. And part of their strategy is this. They use people who look like us to keep us at each other's throats, to stir up drama,
Man,
keep us distracted.
Scans Los Angeles TV must be watching Keep It G News. Yo, cause I ain't gonna lie, this is shit I be trying to explain, y'all. I'm glad he did it in video form. You know, cause some people don't understand things unless you make it visual. You know what I mean?
Divided and off code. It's not just about entertainment. It's not just about clout. It's about control. When you see these
Start controlling
influencers
the
and
narrative,
media heads
man.
fanning the flames, playing puppet master over conflict in our communities, understand that it's all by design.
You get what I'm saying? But the main thing is this company E1, this company E1, this company E1.
Since we're talking about E1, I want to show you guys something real quick. Here's something you might not know. E1 even owns the rights to kids' shows, like PJ Masks and Peppa Pig. That means their influence doesn't just stop at hip-hop or street culture. It reaches all the way into your children's minds. Saturday morning cartoons, bedtime shows. They control the message. They own the characters. So while they're pushing one agenda to adults through music and media, they've got a whole different grip on the next generation before they can
It
even
is gonna be
spell their
hard,
own
yo.
names.
That's why I always
It's
say.
not just business.
That's why I always say, yo, we gotta get the culture vultures out the way, not the white ones, the black ones. You know what I mean? That's why, for people that be wondering why I be going at these people so aggressively, yo, because they are the ones that's in the way. You know what I mean? You gotta, in order for us to get anywhere, we gotta remove those guys first before we can ever jump over to it. You know what I mean? The Wacks, the Charleston White stuff. You know what I mean? Those guys are in the way. they're right now when it comes, especially when it comes down to the internet and controlling the narrative, the tales. You know what I mean? When it comes to controlling the narrative, yo, we got to remove them people, man. They muddy in the waters because most people think they us and they ain't. They are totally compromised. They is not independent. They do not have no original thought. Like their whole thought process is coming from another person. Like, yo, what was the reason? Like, really though, what was the reason for Wack 100 to want to expose like who? Just for content. So you did all that for content, yo. That man been locked up 50 years in solitary confinement for 30. He finally get a break. He ain't come home, but he finally got a break. And the first thing you do is, yo, I'm gonna try to figure out if he a rat or not. Like, yo, come on, bro. Nah, man, that's not normal, yo. We don't do shit like that to each other, man. That's different. You know what I mean? That's what I be talking about. That stuff like that, that is different. That's not us. That's not normal. Ain't nobody gonna be sitting in the house. Motherfucker just happy he getting a break. Motherfucker ain't sitting back like, shit, I wonder if he ratty. No, hell no. It'd have been different if it was already snitch allegations on his name. There was no allegations on his name. For anybody to try to dive deep into him, I think 109 Jake did another video. I ain't watched it though. I think my man sent it to me.
It's strategy. Look at what Ewan thought would be good to include in children's cartoons. In a recent episode, Peppa Pig introduced its first same-sex couple. Penny Polar Bear, a character in the show, has two mothers. Inclusion marks a significant step in representing diverse family structures in the popular children's series. The episode, titled Families, features Penny drawing a picture of her two mothers and explaining that she lives with them. One of her mothers is a doctor, and the other cooks spaghetti. The show's decision to include a same-sex couple follows a petition calling for more LGBTQ representation in Peppa Pig. This move aligns with a growing trend in children's television to showcase diverse family structures and characters. Previously, the show Arthur featured a gay wedding, and Bluey has also included references to same-sex parents.
Yeah, I ain't watch it. I think so.
Once again, for some reason,
I don't watch that.
E1 thought it was a good idea to introduce this type of imagery to children before they can even spell their own names. We've already seen this with Peppa Pig. But let's talk about PJ Masks.
Make it cool.
Alright, we ready to switch over. I just wanted y'all to see it, cause I do want to finish watching this video. But I want to talk about this Diddy situation and how people was unjustly comparing yo to Epstein and Weinstein. Like niggas don't know what they did.
Masks is a kid's cartoon where the characters turn into superheroes. One of them is a little girl named Owlette. She transforms into an owl-based superhero. And if you know anything about symbolism, you already know what the owl represents in occult circles. If you don't, you might want to look that up. But here's where it gets real. There's a brief moment in the show, blink, and you'll miss it, where Owlette is transforming, and she throws her hand out. And on 3 of her fingers, there's something written. I paused it, and looked, and it's 3 6s. Clear as day. So you've got to ask yourself, what is E1 really doing putting that in a kid's show? What are they telling us when they put these images in front of our children? You might brush it off, say it's nothing. But that's exactly how
Yeah, I know.
subconscious programming works.
D-Drop.
They don't announce it. They don't explain it. They just slip it in, fast and quiet. In the documentary I did, I showed you who they themselves are telling us they are. This is who C.S. Tupac and Reggie Wright, a deacon in the Church of Christianity, are working for. A system and a company responsible for planting this kind of messaging into children's minds. And the executives down at E1 know most of us won't catch it. They know the average person has no understanding of how deep this goes. And that's the trick. What you don't understand, they use against you. Every time.
Now, there's one dude I think you should I don't know if you've been on your YouTube, but it's one dude, bro, you gotta check out. This dude is real instrumental as far as putting all the evidence together. You can see what's happening now, bro, is you got a lot of people who was involved in that shit in the 90s and early 2000s that are now, without putting their name or putting their face to shit, sliding this man all the evidence that they had before. All the evidence as far as the gun that was used to shoot Tupac. I ain't gonna say kill him, but we're gonna say shoot him because we still don't know what's up with that. It's all kind of stories about how Gaddafi was at the House of Blues and they confiscated the 40 Glock from Gaddafi at the House of Blues, and instead of the Santa Monica police giving the gun back to Compton or giving the gun back to the sheriffs, they gave the gun back to Right Way Security, who was owned by, of course, Reggie Wright and Reggie Wright Sr. The gun was given to them, and the gun was never given to the police. So right then and there, it tells you that these niggas has got something involved with the gun. You get what I'm saying? But I don't want to get too deep into conspiracies because, of course, I could be on the phone with you for hours about this shit, my nigga. Right. But when it comes to the most recent rants from Phone Flex and E1, Phone Flex and Wack 100 is specifically because these niggas are getting checks cut by E1. Now, Phone Flex, the reason why he crying and all that shit is because he don't want to say what he's saying, but he know he got to say it because these niggas is paying him to say it. Right. You feel me? And I sent you... Go ahead, my bad.
I don't know. In one of my videos, when I was talking about that Fun Flex shit, I said that I was like, dog, when I really look in his eyes when he crying, it seemed like somebody else is pushing the buttons behind that. Like, he not crying because he emotional. He crying like,
there you go.
He really don't want to do this. That's how he really looked at sad in his face.
My nigga, you are so on point. You on point. He don't want to do it because, come on, my nigga, think about it, bro. Think about it. He said what he said, okay? Let's just say for some reason he just slipped up and said some bullshit one day, right? Why does the nigga then tell you to stay tuned for tomorrow, and then he was going to finish what he was saying today, tomorrow, knowing he already got the backlash that one day? Who in their right mind will go back again the next day and then subject themselves to a double dosage of the backlash? It didn't make sense. He was doing that shit because he's getting paid. They're forcing this nigga to do this shit. You feel me? Now, I sent you a link to Wack 100. It's an Instagram live feed. He at the airport or whatever. He talking about a gang of other bullshit. But I want to say at 6:04, I think I gave you the number, the minute. He's talked specifically about owning these death row reels and him being hired by E1 to executive produce these songs, to push him out and do what he want to do with them, whatever. Right. And you got to think about how YouTube and shit work and people that are trending, how that work. You got this company E1 who could have picked anybody to give this information to, give this shit to, but they chose Wack 100. Why did they choose Wack 100? He's a loudmouth nigga. He's trendy, got the moment, and it seems, and it's not true, but it seems like everybody in LA scared of this nigga.
We all got handlers, Chuck. We all have a handler, bro. Stop it, Wack. You do. I got a handler.
But that ain't what it is.
Right.
Now, this is from E1's perspective. Like, who could we give this? So they pick Wack 100. Wack 100 is a nigga. He's managing game, managing Ray J. But who knows if he making real bread like that? You feel me? So I'm pretty sure he took that job knowing what the backlash was going to be, but he still took it. You feel me? Now, 40 Glock, take it for what it's worth. 40 Glock even mentioned the fact that that Wack 100 in the mid 90s was trying to get, trying to be a bodyguard for Suge. Not in the mid 90s, bro, but after, Death Row had, Pac had died and Snoop had left, and they was kind of resurrecting the role, and I think Corrupt had became like a president, some shit or whatever, whatnot. Wack 100 at that time was trying to become a bodyguard, and Suge wasn't fucking with it. You see what I'm saying? So now it's like, I wouldn't say the roles are reversed, but now Wack 100 got his little clout up and his little shit up or whatever. Now it's kind of like he kind of some sort of a boss. You know what I mean? So E100 looked at him like, okay, I think we should target him as the nigga that, we get to do all this shit to. You see what I'm saying? That's why they picked nigga from the East Coast, Flex. They got a voice, they got a mouth. They picked the nigga from the West Coast. They couldn't pick Big Boy or nobody like that because they wasn't gonna go for it. They picked a perfect nigga, Wack 100. You feel me? Yeah. Now, I don't mean to go on and on, but this company,
see, we all have a handle. It's crazy. Like, nigga don't even play like that.
Greg Kading is. This motherfucker is a dirty ass cop. For one, he was, like I told you, he was kicked off the LAPD for changing witness statements about not only the big case, but all kind of other cases and shit. And he got fired, but his official term, I guess, was retired. And the only reason why they retired him was because if they would have fired him, every case he worked on, all them niggas would have been have to let go free by law, I guess. So instead of releasing some prisoners and shit, they like, my nigga, you just need to retire. You feel me? So he gracefully walked away for the sake of the prisoners not being coming free. But he's got fouls on him for pointing guns at black kids, planting guns on niggas in Compton. This dude is dirty as fuck. And E1 chose.
Yeah, but what did I say though, y'all? In order to get that level of celebrity as a police officer, you gotta be dirty. You gotta be dirty. If you didn't have to be dirty, it'd be more police officers that reach that level. Most police. Remember when we was covering the YSL trial when they had that detective on the stand, and he got a whole show on E or whatever fuck channel this on. I said, yo, he a dirty cop. You got to be a dirty cop to get a show like that. That's the only way you're gonna rival, but that's the only way you're gonna separate yourself from the rest of the force. And Greg Kading's no different. He had to be dirty. For him to be world renowned this way, he ain't the only one that investigated Tupac murder. Well, he the only one we really know. He had to have been dirty, yo.
Not only to destroy not only to put
the
Orlando Anderson narrative together, but to also keep Biggie Small's mom away from winning her, I forget how many $1 million it was, a settlement, basically discrediting anything, and basically saying it was the East Coast West Coast shit that killed Biggie. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And because when Greg Kading was doing his investigation, not one time did he ever include all the dirty cops that were in play here. Now, on the contrary, you got Russell Poole, rest in peace. Okay, I don't know if you know about Russell Poole, but Russell Poole was a LAPD detective, the real LAPD detective who was killed for solving the case. He's dead now. For one, not only did he solve the Tupac murder because he received the confession letter, which Greg Kading and them trying to discredit, but he received the confession letter from the niggas who did it, which were the Patton brothers. The Patton brothers, little half-dead Snoop cousin. I know this is going to sound crazy, but hear me out. Little half-dead Snoop cousin, the Patton brothers, and one of them undercover officers were the 4 people in that car that went and killed Pac.
Now look, I agree with almost everything these guys are saying, except when it comes to that confession letter. Here's why I don't fully believe it. They claim Little Half Dead wanted to kill Tupac because Tupac stole his song Brenda's Got a Baby. First off, Brenda's Got a Baby came out in 1991. Meanwhile, Snoop, who brought Half Dead into the fold, wasn't introduced until 1992 on the Deep Cover soundtrack. The world did know Little Half Dead at the time Brenda's Got a Baby dropped, and Tupac was nowhere near Death Row Records at the time. death row was barely off the ground. So it's hard for me to believe that Tupac could have stolen that song from him. And Pac explained where the song came from.
The video you made when that girl had that baby in the dumpster? Yeah. What inspired you to make that song in that video?
I was reading New York Post when I was doing the movie Juice, and it was this story. It started out to be this big story about this family who died because they didn't have heat and they left the gas on. Everybody died except for this girl. She moved in with her cousin, second cousin. She started.
Well, Reggie's one of the, hey, Chelsea, Reggie is one of the dirtiest people that we probably ever seen on the internet. Reggie is an ex-police officer, a dirty police officer, and he's a rat. Like it don't get too much worse than Reggie Wright. Like he don't stand on anything of principle. You know what I mean? Like how you a cop, then the dirty cop that sells drugs and steals from drug dealers, and you're a federal informant? Nah, Reggie Wright don't stand on nothing. Like I wouldn't trust Reggie Wright as far as I could see him.
Second cousin, he got her pregnant. Nobody noticed she was pregnant. I was like, dang, and nobody talks about that. No young black males, no black males talk about black females like we should. We need to take more responsibility for our sisters because if we don't, we will.
He said he read an article in the newspaper about a 12-year-old girl who dumped her baby in a trash can. That article exists. This is documented. So how does that turn into a motive?
Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Understanding. It's what we're all after.
Yeah, hell yeah. Polo P.
The letter claims
Reggie
that
Wright
the
was
Patton
dirty as
brothers
shit.
and Little Half Dead were in the car. I don't believe Malcolm Patton and the others could have hit that car that many times, that accurately, unless they had serious military-level training. And here's another thing. The letter says Reggie Wright gathered multiple people from multiple gangs at a park to talk about who was going to be the one to kill Tupac. That just doesn't sound believable to me. To me, it almost sounds like the letter was an attempt to muddy up the investigation, like Reggie likes to say, just to throw people off. Marion Knight said that if you solve the Tupac murder, you'll solve the Biggie murder, because it was the same circle of people. So if that's true, how come nobody is blaming the Patton brothers or Little Half Dead for the murder of Biggie? And even with that album cover from Half Dead, yeah, it shows what looks to be Gaddafi and Tupac, each with a bullet in his head. But a picture doesn't prove action. Nobody's accusing Half Dead of killing Gaddafi in New Jersey. So why take the image as proof that he pulled the trigger on Pac?
But what the murder rap DVD from Greg Kading can tell you is that Keefy D from Southside Concert Crib was in that car, and Orlando Anderson was in that car, and Orlando Anderson got jumped in the casino. So, okay, now let's go get the get back, and let's go also get the get back and get the money from Puff Daddy that he put on the head of Pac. This is all Greg Kading's story. You see what I'm saying? And this is a story that, like I said, was all fabricated to take the true story on who really killed Pac and what the real true reason was. And not only kill Pac, but it was also a coup to kill Suge Knight, because at the time in '96, death row was worth $500 million. Right now, that's like almost $2 billion if you talk inflation numbers and shit like that. So think about it. You got a black man from Compton owning a damn near $1 billion record company. These Jewish white people was not feeling that. So the lawyer of Suge Knight, David Kenner, okay, who's now no longer his lawyer anymore, David Kenner was the one who implicated Suge Knight in the kicking of Orlando Anderson on the ground. Orlando Anderson told the police and told everybody that Suge Knight did not kick him. He said, Suge Knight didn't kick me, Suge Knight didn't kick me. The lawyer of Suge Knight provided the MGM footage to the table. So basically he incriminated his own client. On purpose, by the way, because it was a coup to take away death row, to take away all that shit from both them niggas and give it, to basically do what they doing now, living off the residual wealth and all the shit that Pac did before so these white people could get paid for it. But back to Russell Poole. Russell Poole found out all the stuff with the case based on evidence. Not only did he take this evidence with the confession letter to the sheriff's department, He also uncovered the plot to kill Suge Knight at the One Oak Club. I don't know if the club is in L.A. or in Vegas. I think it's in L.A. I'm from L.A. I don't know why I don't know if the club out here. But the One Oak Club where Chris Brown, it was the Chris Brown party. I don't know if you remember this, bro. But it was a Chris Brown party. I think Tony Parker, the basketball player, got his eye cut, some more shit or whatever. Anyway, at that party, Suge Knight got shot 5 times. Now, you tell me what nigga get shot on accident 5 times. Even the innocent bystander. Don't no nigga get shot. 1 in the leg, 1 to the heart. 5 times, nigga? Come on. Don't nobody get shot 5 times. But hear me out, though. Russell Poole, rest in peace, got the surveillance of the LAPD cop who picked the shooters up from the airport and dropped the shooters off. Okay? And so he took this evidence of the confession letter, okay, all the other evidence that he had, the footage of the LA sheriff cop picking these niggas up and taking them off.
100 homies from his hood that's really like his OG. He was like, nobody standing behind Wack on none of this shit. So people wondering like, okay, if his own hood not standing behind him, he feel this comfortable going this hard, knowing that there's millions of Tupac fans and he gotta feel untouchable. So the E1 is, you said, basically the motherfuckers that's behind him, they basically willing to protect them. But this is what's crazy to me. So I'm wondering if E1 owns the rights or the likeness to an individual. You know what I mean? That's like, okay, E1 owns the likeness to the car that's in front of you or whatever. I don't understand why would they want to.
What makes a life?
That's what I wanted to hear. I ain't trying to hear
Is it art?
The motherfucking murder investigation of Tupac.
Shit on this. If this is their moneymaker, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand that part of it. It seems like that's kind of going at it backwards. Like, why would you want to make everybody dislike something that's basically your moneymaker that you want to go, that you're trying to really, in essence, sell to the people?
That's a great question. That's a great question. And basically, how I can answer that is they basically get paid off the good and they get paid off the bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Wack 100
Ain't no
talking all
bad
this shit.
publicity.
People are still tuning in to hear what he got to say. People are still tuning in. No matter what our opinion is, we still gonna click like. I mean, we still gonna click play.
Right.
You feel me? We still gonna, and they gonna get paid off of it if our opinion is shitty of it or we love it. They gonna get paid off the play. You see what I'm saying?
I've been noticing when I go back and watch my videos, a lot of the Tupac movie ads is running on my shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I was thinking, I'm like, anywhere I go, they get promotion out of it. Because that's what the dude, Chief Principal, was saying in the interview I put up today. He was like, he said Wack 100 told him, he didn't say, Wack 100 didn't tell him who. He was just like, someone paid him $150,000 to do this. But it's crazy because like the interview was 43 minutes, and it's like it's crazy because no one. That's the main part of the video I wanted people to listen to, and it's like no one's really. I'm like, fuck all the other shit. He talking about Wack 100 ain't no shooter, this and that. I'm like, that's what's
all that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh man, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
So it was like I'm trying to figure out some type of way to. That's why I was like, do you have anything like in black and white? So if I do want to press that issue and not press it hard, because it sounds like this some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know who a motherfucker might try to come. It makes me where, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. It made me, since I started doing all this stuff. Every so often being a YouTuber, some people will try to put copyrights on your shit or whatever. Now, if a motherfucker, say for you go to YouTube and you put up something, I can put a false copyright on your stuff, then you gotta appeal it. Now, if you appeal it, you know what I'm saying? Say for you appeal it, now I can reject it. Now, if you know you in the right, that makes you want to appeal it again. Now, if you appeal it again,
Names when they tried to say.
How people behind the scenes are thinking, like if we really want to know who's behind this channel, we can find out this motherfucker home address by just doing that simple thing.
Exactly.
It is true.
And that's how you know Reggie was playing games when they.
It is true though. He ain't lying about that. I never do that, but motherfucker might need to start doing that, man. That's how you find out who behind some of these channels, man. Copyright them. Copyright them. They gonna refute it, then you refute it. They gotta give their address and their name. All these fake drill pages and all this shit. That's how you find out who behind them bitches.
They tried to say I was some white man from England. They know exactly who everybody is. And even if they didn't, All they'd have to do is hit up Alan Grunblatt, and he'd reach out to his people. And just like that, they'd have all the info they need. These folks are too connected, too calculated, and too well-resourced to not know. So when they start pretending like they don't, that's part of the act.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
so,
sir.
like, I want to, you know, do the journalistic work to put this shit out there, but it's like, damn, how hard is it?
How far do you? Yes, my brother.
Yeah.
That is, man, you. So they going through a lot right now. But long story short, literally Russia says they have information about this shit and crack it all open.
Now listen, the brother that's speaking, he's not lying about what he said regarding Tanique reviews. Tanique was dropping real paperwork, FBI files, testimony, receipts. He was exposing exactly what's been going on behind the scenes. What they knew, what they heard, and what they tried to bury. He had Kevin Hackey's full testimony. And that's where things got deep. Kevin Hackey said he gave the gun back to Reggie Wright. And that same gun is the one that ended up being used to kill Tupac. Hackey even said he brought the gun to the FBI, and instead of keeping it, after they ran it for ballistics, they handed it back to him and told him to return it to Reggie. So they were on top of everything, and Tanique was out here pulling the curtain back, piece by piece. Reggie was shook. He was so worried about what Tanique was exposing, he got on the phone with him. So when you hear that recorded conversation between Reggie and Sharitha, that's Tanique on the other end. It was Tanique who recorded that call. That's why we even have that audio.
Prime Day is coming July 8th through the 11th with great deals on whatever you get into next.
Cleverness, they do got the receipt and all the checks that Kevin Gaines got. It's a fact.
A check from Death Row?
Death Row record. No, they got it from
All. That's why we even have that audio.
your text. In the book Labyrinth, they do got the receipt and all the checks that Kevin Gaines got. It's a fact.
A check from Death Row?
Death Row record. No, they got it from Death Row record. An allotment from Suge Knight, $10,000. Several of them was found in his gym bag and in his locker. That's what you're going to see in the movie when it's released. I promise you. I can't swear to God, but I wish I could. But I promise you, you can see it. In fact, I'm going to post it. Now that you said it, I'm going to let you see it. $10,000 to Kevin Gaines. Sharitha gave it to him. An allotment from Suge Knight.
Well, that's a couple nightlife management or something.
No, it says Death Row record.
Okay, hold on. You can hear me calling, and I'm about to ask about that. Hold on.
Okay.
Just listen. Don't say that.
All right.
What's going on?
Oh, man. So I was going to ask you, somebody's about to do a story, and they're going to say it's going to be in the movie, too,
Can you give me like 10 minutes? I'm in the shower.
Okay. I just want to ask you one question, though, right quick.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me turn closer to the phone. Let me dry my hands.
All right, take a picture of that, too.
I can't hear you, so let me dry my hands. Wait a minute.
All right.
You're a pervert.
Okay, now what you say?
What the
Take a
fuck?
picture of that scene, too. I was messing with you.
You don't want to see that?
I know I don't. I tell you every time you get mad when I say, I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that?
But anyway, right quick, big bro. I want to tell you, Kevin Gaines. You ever cut him some checks or something like that from Death Row Records? I know you cut it from Death Row Records, but you might have got the nightlife.
He's
$10,000?
No.
They got something where they trying to say that they got pictures of check stubs and stuff like that from Death Row Records.
No. Never.
Okay. That's what about the nightlife?
Nope.
What about the nightlife?
Nope.
I wonder where they killed this shit, bro. Because I'm going to make sure I would have killed you, me, and everybody else if you do.
No.
You cannot check
Reggie,
that.
I'm a whole lot of things. But I ain't that scammer.
Yeah, I'm going to kill your ass.
They lying. Hey, why would I want a paper trail when I never brought him around nowhere?
Exactly. That's what I was like.
So if I'm gonna hide him in secret, you think I'm gonna let somebody catch a paper trail? Even when he worked with, and I don't even think he's the one that worked. He got his friends to do it. They were paid cash by Snoop.
Yeah.
So no, there is no reason. There's not for those $10,000. That's a made up shit.
Well, any check?
Not that I'm aware of. No, not unless it was that whole other thing.
Yeah,
And it wouldn't have been from death row.
But that would have been later. That would have been to you. It wouldn't have been to.
And Tanique wasn't just putting out fluff. Kevin Hackey said he gave the gun back to Reggie Wright. And that same gun is the one that ended up being used to kill Tupac. Hackey even said he brought the gun to the FBI, and instead of keeping it, after they ran it for ballistics, they handed it back to him and told him to return it to Reggie. So they were on top of everything, and Tanique was out here pulling the curtain back, piece by piece. He was showing so much real, documented info that even I was telling people, yo, they're about to book Reggie Wright and them for the Tupac and Biggie murders. Because Tanique was putting too many facts out there. Too much proof. And just as I was saying that to people, guess what happened next?
Retired LA County Sheriff's Lieutenant and his son, a one-time cop with the Compton Police Department, have been indicted on federal drug trafficking and money laundering charges. Prosecutors say Reggie Wright Sr. and his son, Reggie Wright Jr., are both members of the Grape Street Crips gang.
The way the timing played out, it almost looked like Reggie was arrested just to shield him from all the new paperwork that was surfacing. It felt too well timed to be a coincidence. Like they moved on him just in time to keep certain things from blowing up any further.
So you got niggas that are literally flying out to Russia today to go and get that information, or at least with their Freedom of Information Act, see what they can get on what's going on. Right. Now, like I'm telling you,
we got to revisit this. Yo, that's Scandals in Los Angeles TV if y'all want to watch the whole joint. But I want to talk about this motherfucking this Tisa Tells girl, man. Yo, listen to how she spent this narrative on Kanye West coming to court to support Diddy. Like, yo, this is diabolical work. Like, you gotta hear it. You gotta hear it, man. Where the fuck is it at? Here you go. Listen to this shit, y'all. 121,000 people watch this nonsense.
Did you know 95% of...
No, like, she spent the shit out this narrative. Like, yo, I don't know where she getting that in. She even started going to the Kanye West lawsuit. Just listen to this shit.
The fact of sex trafficking by fraud, basically showing how many times Diddy did a bait and switch. But you guys, we need to actually talk about something that's going on between Diddy and Kanye, okay? And that Diddy set Kanye up, and Kanye is here because he is getting to actually be here. And this is the reason why Kanye is actually showing
Listen to this
up,
shit, yo.
okay? Okay.
Like, yo, it's no way he's just there to support. Ain't no way. Yo, listen to this narrative, yo. Like, this is dirty work. You heard me? Listen to this shit.
Y'all know that, when was it? In June of 2024, okay? And it was amended in October 2024, right? Kanye was sued with allegations of sexual assault and drugging. He was literally sued
Now
for
listen.
that. Now,
Yo, that lawsuit is frivolous. We read that lawsuit. Now, for the people that's watching her, they probably missed it. You know, maybe she covered it, but, you know, she covered it with a twist. That lawsuit that was filed on Kanye West is frivolous as a motherfucker. That girl is another willing participant. She was Kanye West's assistant. She was willing to do anything Kanye West asked. She lying about she ain't never had sex with Kanye West. That shit is a fucking lie, man. Lie. She was mad because Kanye West promised her a promotion or something where he supposed to pay her $1 million. And he ended up firing her or some shit like that. So she came out with these wild ass allegations. But listen to how she tried to incorporate that into Diddy's situation.
What was he sued for? Listen to me. Just let me get this out. Because, yes, it could be in the same thing, but I think there's a reason why Kanye's
No, it's
showing up.
X.
And this might be, I was talking to my friend Al, this might be why, right? This might be why,
Still, man.
actually, he's actually
Still, man.
showing up. You know what I'm saying? Okay? They said Lauren Piscodia is suing Kanye West, also known as Ye, for a sexual harassment, breach of contract, wrongful termination, and other claims. Now get this. She was hired by Ye as his personal assistant in 2021. She alleges being subjected to
Now,
repeated
Kanye is
sexual
a
harassment
freaky
by
motherfucker
Ye,
too, though.
including unwanted sexual advances, explicit messages and images, and alleged instances of public and masturbation. Right? Sounds a lot like Diddy. But hold on. She claims Kanye coerced her into deleting her OnlyFans account with the promise of a $1 million annual salary, while she claims she never received. She alleges wrongful termination after she refused his advances. She later amended her lawsuit to include allegations of sexual assault and being rugged by Kanye during a studio session. She also claims Kanye owes her $3 million severance package, which she has not received, okay? Also, you guys, don't forget to shop my merch. Jay's legal team has denied the allegations, claiming that her lawsuit is baseless and motivated by financial gain. Now, let me just be clear. I don't think it's baseless. I don't think it's motivated. Well, every lawsuit, civil lawsuit, is motivated by financial gain. That's no big deal. They argue Lauren was dismissed due to incompetence, not retaliation, and his legal team has also accused her of sexual coercion and attempting to blackmail him. Now, the lawsuit was filed in June 2024. It's still in its early stages. It is not moving forward. Part of it is because they're saying that Lauren's team was having difficulty formally serving Ye because he moved to Japan. Her lawyer says she's currently in hiding due to threats and harassment received during the lawsuit. Okay, so y'all know about that, and y'all know about like what's going on with Ye. But you know what's actually really interesting? I did a little research just to actually confirm it. And do you know how? They the incident that she's suing him for, and all this is stemming from? First of all, she's saying that she can't serve him, which is weird because he showed up at the courthouse plenty of times. Diddy's team knew he was showing up. But why is that important, right? Because the amended lawsuit, all the stuff of SA and the drugging, the amended lawsuit describes an alleged incident at a studio session co-hosted by Diddy and Kanye West.
100,000.
The person suing Kanye for saying he's the next Diddy used to work for Diddy. Diddy invited her and Kanye over to a studio session. She claimed she was pressured to drink a beverage at the event. She became disoriented, and she believed she was rugged and assaulted that night. She later alleges Kanye confessed to the assault during her employment, making light of her memory at loss that night. Now, I'm not one that's causing any conspiracy theory, and I'm pretty sure. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, hold on really quick.
Yo, she be fake as a motherfucker.
She watch you every day. Huh? All the way back to exactly. Thank you. Odd that the person suing Kanye used to work for Diddy as a what? Some sort of assistant, they are saying. And now Kanye and that girl gets invited over to a studio session with Diddy. Diddy gets arrested. Diddy gets this. Diddy gets that. And this girl is suing Kanye for Diddy-like things. And then Kanye, out of everybody Diddy knows, feels compelled to work with Christian. And again, Christian is, listen, I'm not going to call Christian a struggle rapper.
What is the connection? Like, oh, she just over this bitch rambling. What is the connection? So, like, I don't know if she's, like, it's like she's trying to insinuate that. I don't know what the fuck she's saying, to be honest. It's really confusing. But whatever she's doing, she's trying hard as a motherfucker to convince her viewers that that's what it is. But it ain't. Kanye got a beef with the same people Diddy got a beef with. That's the connection. Simple and plain. All these false narratives that she been putting out since the beginning of time is sickening, man.
Dad being Diddy, he should have really gotten better production, more promotion, but I think that Diddy never was going to let any of his sons outshine him. Like, just hear me out. You're working with Christian. You're doing things about I just effed your B in a Sean John tank top. You're the only person out of all his friends, and this even goes down to Young Miami Child, that are actually showing up at the courthouse, and you're making a big media spectacle about it. Now, here's what it gets interesting, right? Because it's odd. It's odd that you're actually getting sued by a woman who used to be down with Diddy's camp. You're saying all this happened at a studio session. I assume it's a studio session for the Love album. That was done in 2023. And now in June of 2004, after Diddy's house get raided, nobody will stand next to him. She's suing you, but she refuses to actually sue the one person everybody knows she can go after, which is Diddy. And then we got Kanye showing up. But then I also started thinking, Kanye was, as far as I know, hates Diddy's guts.
Listen to this shit, yo.
Always shocking to me.
Yo, this is horrible. I don't even want to hear no more of it. I just wanted to show y'all what she pushing over. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here, shorty. Like, you like, none of that shit makes sense. The connection, I don't know who told her to do that. I guess she tried to like, you know, Diddy trial gonna be headed to the jury soon. And some people think that Kanye West being there is gonna play to the jury. You know, that he got support from the industry. So what she's trying to do is say, oh no, that's not really support. He's just there to make sure that Diddy don't implicate him in nothing. Yo, Diddy ain't telling on nobody, man. If Diddy was telling on somebody, he'd have fucking been did it. Diddy is not telling. Diddy may beat this case. But everybody keep trying to connect. Everybody keep trying to. And we did this before. Everybody keep trying to tie Diddy to this nigga. And Weinstein. Yo, but Diddy's situation is totally different. Totally different. Listen to this nigga, man. Somebody explain to me.
Just 3 years after New York Magazine.
How is Diddy's situation even comparable to Harvey Weinstein? It's not comparable at all, man. Harvey Weinstein was preying on children. Jeffrey Epstein really ran a sex trafficking ring with children. Like, that's what he really did. He sent the children overseas to London and to fuck with the prince, whatever the fuck it was. Like, he was literally pimping young girls out for profit to his rich friends. Yo, Diddy didn't do that. Diddy didn't do that, yo. And it's sad that people is trying to connect Diddy to Yo and saying it's one and the same, but it's totally different. Like, listen to it. That's like saying King Von is a serial killer. Like, yo, people gotta stop listening to nonsense, yo. The man was investigated in 2005 for having sex with a 14-year-old girl, man. There's none of that shit in Diddy's case. The lawsuits are lies. Don't come in here talking about no Justin Bieber, no Usher, no none of that dumbass shit. Ain't no proof to none of that. This is documented facts.
Authorities, she had been brought there by 2 other girls. And when those girls were brought in, they pointed to 2 more girls who had done the same thing to them.
The man,
Detectives soon identified dozens.
The man was sending scouts to middle schools. To middle schools, man. To get girls. Like, oh, this is totally different than Diddy just being a freak with his girlfriends, who he provided for. What I tell y'all, what trafficking used to be. What I tell yo, what trafficking used to be was pimps dealing with minors, dealing with runaways, dealing with immigrants. That was the definition of trafficking that we all was taught and remembered. Now they try to change the definition and say, no, you can do it through financial manipulation. You can traffic a female or male by waving money over top of their head. Nah, man, fuck no. Nah, we ain't doing that. That's bogus. That's bullshit. Cause you got a decision. He is preying on innocent children. Children. Not grown consenting adults. He's not paying sex workers to have sex with his girlfriends. He is recruiting children from middle school and high school and bringing them to his house to do wild things to him. Diddy ain't do none of that, y'all. He got kids to bring him other kids. Yo, do y'all not remember this? See, I think people memory get foggy at the time pass. Yo, Long Crime Network was really telling the world that Diddy was like Epstein. Tissa Tales did it too. A lot of platforms did it. These niggas totally different. See, but at this time, how they got away with it, because at this time, a lot of people believed that it was kids involved in Diddy case. Yeah, but once this information is disseminated to the people, you can't take it back. That's why so many people still believe it, even though the trial was damn near over. Well, the prosecution is rested. There's no evidence of any of these things that was said about Diddy pre-trial. There's no evidence in the trial. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, so it was easy to manipulate the media and say, yo, Diddy just like Epstein, when all the lawsuits was talking about children. Even the ones that got dropped. Once they got dropped, it don't even matter. All we got to do is put the information out there. It don't matter if it get dropped or not. The information is there. You know what I mean? That shit running around the world. It could get dropped 1,000 times. It wouldn't matter. Certain people ain't even going to know the case got dropped. Because people not tapped in like that. People just like headlines. It's not a headline to say, yo, Tony Busby, Danny O's lawsuits got thrown out. That ain't no headline. What's the headline is, I got 100 lawsuits on Diddy. Some of them minors. Yo, once that is out there, it sticks. And the media knows this. That's how they manipulate the people. But let's continue. Need to provide no defense, Chelsea. The prosecution sucked. And I'm sure he's gonna have some defensive witness, but he don't need to. Yo, they dismantled the prosecution. Dismantled them one by one. Capricorn Clark, Cassie, Jane Doe, Mia. All like yo, they dismantled them motherfuckers, man. They all lied on the stand.
Alec in part.
Thousands of victims. Thousands of victims. Is what they said of Jeffrey Epstein. Thousands of minors, man. Yo, stop letting people compare him. Stop letting people compare Diddy to y'all. Please. That shit is egregious. Mainstream media did that. Mainstream media, the pages that y'all watch and go to for credible news, allowed a narrative that Diddy was like Jeffrey Epstein. Think about that, though, y'all. This man is alleged to have thousands of victims. Diddy got 2. And it was his girlfriends that benefited greatly. 2. Let's go to Weinstein. Let's see what Weinstein case was about. For people that forgot. Harvey Weinstein case. Let's see if we can find a good one. Let's sum it up for us real quick. That shit's too fucking long. Oh, Gloria Allred was involved in that. That's not my fucking ass. 60 minutes. Every time I said, hey, happy, time I said, say it to my face, or don't say it at all. Happy. Now go over there and say, yo, keep it, go over there and say, keep it G News said. Say it to his face. I ain't here can't someone talk about Harvey Weinstein. But look at all these alleged victims of Harvey Weinstein. Look at this. Harvey Weinstein had hundreds of victims.
Harvey Weinstein was an icon, but no more. His failing was a belief he wanted, and damn the consequences. Weinstein lured young women to be his sexual playthings, knowing such was his influence, they'd be too frightened to call him out. And the plan worked for decades until finally his victims said enough. The movie mogul was publicly exposed. Now he's being made to account for his predatory behaviour in a New York court of law. But Harvey Weinstein's not going down without a fight, and he's worked out the best man for the job of taking on the Me Too movement is a woman.
He has set up a whole life and a company as a front for a rape factory, a human trafficking factory. I think it'd be best for everyone if he just ceased to exist.
Off the rip, he set up a whole company and made it a rape factory. I don't think Diddy did that, y'all. Is Diddy Enterprises a rape factory? I think those are strong words, man. I don't think we heard that in court. I don't think any of that came out in court. That Diddy Enterprise was a rape factory. Like that's some strong verbiage.
Harvey Weinstein, once the world's most celebrated movie mogul.
His name is Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey.
Harvey?
Harvey.
Harvey Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein. And God. Harvey Weinstein.
Now better known as the evil face of Me Too.
But listen
Crushed
though,
by an avalanche of...
like I said, these are all women that want it in. So yeah, you know, he got found guilty. He probably is innocent, to be honest, because these women want it in. They want it in. But Diddy don't have 100 victims. Diddy don't have no victims, to be honest. I mean, I don't even think necessarily you can call these women victims. You know, they want it in, but it ain't 100 of them. Is what the point I'm trying to get people to understand.
Sexual assault allegations. More than 90 women coming forward from within Hollywood and beyond.
Harvey, are you claiming all of these women are making this up?
Please, I don't want to do something I don't want.
Don't ruin your friendship with me for 5 minutes.
It's like David and Goliath.
They underestimated you.
Yeah, big time. Very much.
Tonight, as we wait for a verdict in his historic rape trial,
They ain't got no
in New
audio
York,
of Diddy saying
we
that.
turn the spotlight on Harvey's henchmen, the spies that
Diddy was telling motherfuckers, man, look, you can go about your business. You ain't gotta participate.
Women are attracted to older, powerful men.
This is the court case the women's movement Me Too has been waiting for. Harvey Weinstein finally facing trial for rape. But to the disgust
Yo really went in that bitch with a cane. Yo a dirty motherfucker. That nigga was completely fine until he had to go to trial. Now he got a cane and shit. Nigga, get out that cane. Nigga, take accountability. Nigga, fight the case. Nigga, what you got a cane for, nigga?
It's a woman that's been by his side
He ain't
every
the same
step
age
of
as
the
Bill
way.
Cosby. He wasn't 80 when
His
he went in
lead
there.
attorney, Donna Rotuno. How does it feel to represent arguably the most hated man in the world?
I don't know if it's really fair to say that about Harvey Weinstein, but I know that that's definitely the way that the media has painted him. I was completely prepared for the scrutiny that I would be under when I took this on. I think what I wasn't prepared for was the Twitter attacks, prepared for people screaming at me when I walk into the courthouse, and, you know, prepared for the direct messages I get on Instagram saying, you know, I hope you get raped. In this great country, you are innocent until proven guilty.
Despite being so widely loathed, the
Look at him, yo.
44-year-old is
Yo,
steadfast
bluffing
in her
motherfucker.
belief that Harvey Weinstein is not a rapist, and his accusers are just making all of this up.
I think the problem in a case like this up to this point is the fact that the emotion of this case has been taken over and common sense has been left outside.
But it's Rotuno's blunt, some say brutal way of delivering her message about the alleged victims that's particularly enraged so many people.
Women.
Mom loves that they have fresh strawberries
Yeah,
on
Bill
top.
Cosby was way older than
Kids
him, though.
love the chocolate.
Bill definitely did it. But Bill Cosby was at 80 when they booked him. This
Powerful
motherfucker
men.
like 60
Women are
something.
attracted to older, powerful men. Women don't care what they look like. They don't care how big they are. They're attracted to the lifestyle and the benefit of the lifestyle.
Look.
Women were throwing themselves at Harvey Weinstein.
She ain't lying, though. She ain't lying. That's the shit I've been talking about. Like, you can't claim a victim when you was a participant. You want it in. Like I said before. As long as you want in, there's going to be people that let you in. It's just going to come with a price. I mean, the choice is yours. Now, this motherfucker had a locked room door on the inside. Like, see, yeah, I mean, that's where shit get a little strange. Like, it wasn't just in. Once you in, you can't get out. That's the type of shit Harvey Weinstein was on. What the fuck, bitch? Fuck shit flying around. Trying to let some of this fucking cold air out. This bitch fucking cold as shit in here.
The question
Fuck
that so
that
many
thing
people
going.
come back to in all of this is,
Bitch, big
why
as
would
shit.
so many women make all of this up?
I think there's a couple reasons. I think one, there's definitely a financial and a monetary gain that's possible. I also think the motivation is not wanting to be the person who says, I had consensual behavior with Harvey Weinstein. I think that once people started coming out, women who, you know, by any other account, if you look at the evidence, engaged in consensual behavior, now says, I don't want to be that person.
A major reason Weinstein chose Rotuno to represent him is because she's a woman, trying to soften the image of his defense team's cross-examinations at trial.
This type of a case requires the right lawyers. I think a woman standing here could make a difference.
And her record, well, it certainly speaks for itself. She's defended 40 men in sexual assault cases and only ever lost once. The lawyer sympathises with men accused of rape in this day and age, claiming it's become so hard for them to prove consent.
And I mean, people laugh at me all the time when I'm the one that says if I was a man in today's world, I'd make people sign consent forms. And they think I'm kidding, and I'm not.
So what, you
I'm
think
not
that's
kidding.
what the world's come to?
Yes.
A man goes home with a girl and he's got to
I do.
Sign up.
I do.
I ain't gonna lie though,
I
y'all.
do. Or ask somebody.
That Me Too movement was wild. I wonder what was the real motive. Did they use Me Too to usher in the LGBTQ movement? That Me Too movement was wild, y'all. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that was a wild time in the world. How they was just trying to put names on that every motherfucking thing. Hey, yo, I killed that motherfucker. I don't know what it was. That bitch was flying crazy and shit. I'm sitting in my face. I got the back door open.
Consent on your phone. I
cold in here.
absolutely do. We want to have it both ways. And we also want to live in a world where men take on all the risk and women do as women want to do. And then at the end, we say, well, we have to believe all women. How is that a just, fair system for
Yo,
either?
you better not believe all women. You sure the fuck better not. We need to get rid of that term, because that shit's a goddamn lie. You don't believe all or nothing. You don't believe all women. You don't believe all men. Shit, you don't need to believe your fucking significant other all the time. They lied too. Like, I can't believe people allow that to even persist. Believe all women. Believe all victims. Fuck no. That's the way people be lying out this bitch. You better believe all or nothing. Fuck you talking about? That's a dumbass way of thinking. They'll believe in all victims. You gonna find yourself being misled probably 50% of the time.
Other side.
But women should be able to take
Right.
risks
You
without
can't believe the
being
whole
raped.
Bible.
Well, of course, but at the same time, to then say, I swipe right on Tinder, and then I go home with somebody and not think that they then may try to proposition me.
That almost sounds like you're saying when you go home, you're asking for it.
No, not at all. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you go home with someone after swiping right, to act as if you have no idea what that interaction may be or what you may be consenting to seems ridiculous to me.
It is ridiculous.
Skip the rental
She ain't
car
lying.
Turo.
It is
Rent
ridiculous.
just about any car.
It's definitely ridiculous. She ain't lying. She keeping that shit real. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. I'm sure some motherfucking flags flying around back that bitch.
On the one hand, Rotuno claims to be a feminist, but at the same time says women have now actually got too much of a free ride on other fronts, particularly when claiming to have been sexually assaulted, suggesting nowadays they're believed
Who the fuck
far
is
too
we?
easily.
Sexual assault and rape are the only crimes in our statutes where we can walk into a police station and say, I was raped and someone believed me. And that's it. That's all you have to say.
But when you talk about the idea of women facing no ramifications for just coming forward with claims like this, I mean, it's a traumatic experience. And you look at one of the women who took the stand here, the alleged victim, she ended up in tears from your cross-examination. She had a panic attack. I mean, that's hardly a walk in the park.
Well, and it isn't a walk in the park. But again, when we talk about this, even starting with the question, it was a traumatic experience, that means that you're presupposing it actually happened.
No, I'm saying to be able to garner the strength to take the stand and effectively be torn apart and have your life examined to a minor detail, that is not a scot-free experience.
No, it is not a scot-free experience. But if you are lying, or if you're bolstering, or if you're relabeling, or renaming, or changing the narrative about the truth, it's my job to figure that out.
I've never understood why people sell their soul to aid and abet a criminal.
Dear Harvey,
You sold your soul.
Rose McGowan is the most prominent force behind the Me Too movement.
today,
So
Lady
Harvey
Justice
Weinstein,
is
Harvey
staring down.
Weinstein was a soul buyer, similar to Diddy, but he did it on a much large capacity. So even comparing him to Diddy is still a mischaracterization of the situation. But that's what it sounded like Harvey Weinstein was. He brought souls. And if you wanted to get in one of his movies, you had to have a price. But you had a decision. You could have said, fuck you and the movie. I don't have a price. But these people had prices. Now, like I said, some of the other things he did, like locking women in his room and shit like that, like, that's different.
A super predator.
At just 22, she shot to fame after landing a leading role in the blockbuster movie Scream. The young and ambitious actress was bound to become Hollywood's next big star. But also Weinstein's next victim. At the 1997 Sundance Film Festival, he coerced Rose to a business meeting at his hotel, where he allegedly raped her. Give us a sense of the toll that it takes on you, the suffering after an attack like that.
Well, your life is really never the same. You know, you want it to be desperately. When you do get attacked, there's a huge part of you that's like, can we just go back to the hour before this happened where I was me?
Weinstein is obviously,
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about?
in your mind, the lowest of the low, but all those people that are...
I think they're lower.
honestly?
I do. I've always thought people that are complicit, whether through silence or through
See,
monetary
yo, I
gain,
can't,
especially through monetary.
I can't get with this though, yo. You sold your soul. You didn't have to do that. If you had sex with Harvey Weinstein, knowing you wasn't interested in him, knowing he wasn't handsome to you, then you sold your soul for a movie role. You can't then come back and claim. See, that's what all these people do. Once their career don't materialize, or they don't get what they thought they was going to get by doing what they was doing, now I'm a victim. No, fuck no. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not a victim. Them girls, them 14-year-old kids in Jeffrey Epstein case was victims. They was victims. You ain't a victim. You wanted in. You was willing to sacrifice your body for it. You ain't no motherfucking victim.
Monetary gain. What is wrong with you? He has set up a whole life and a company as a front for a rape factory, a human trafficking factory. And he had a lot of people there to help him with his big rape fantasy and his rape machine, right? I think it'd be best for everyone if he just ceased to exist. However that happens.
The new How to Train Your Dragon menu is now at BK. Get it before it disappears. Oh,
Yeah, straight up.
Donna Rotuno is happy to concede Harvey Weinstein, like most of her clients, is a sinner, but insists that doesn't mean he belongs in jail. You say there's a difference between sins and crimes.
Well, a sin is cheating on your wife. A sin is sleeping with multiple women. A sin is treating people badly at work. But a crime is a crime. And so, is Harvey guilty of committing sins? Sure. That doesn't make you a criminal. And there's a lot of real estate between making bad choices and committing crimes.
But you have no issues representing a sinner.
No. Because we don't criminalize morality in this country.
The natural flow on from that is
Straight
that
up.
people would say that you don't care about your morals.
Well, they can say that all they want, but my job is to defend the system of justice under which we all live.
The most common criticism of Rotuno is that she engages in victim blaming, particularly when she
There
recently
you go.
declared
There go that dumbass shit. Victim blaming. Yo, stop it. It's like fucking victim blaming. We got victim blaming, victim shaming. We got victim mentality. Yo, that's another word we just throw around loosely. Victims. Everybody ain't victims, man.
never been sexually assaulted because she'd never put herself in that position before. The Me Too movement's public enemy number one was always Harvey Weinstein, but now Donna Rotuno might not be far behind. You've also said, I feel that women may rue the day Me Too started when no one asks them out on a date, no one holds a door open for them, or tells them that they look nice.
Well, I was in Las Vegas. Gentleman in the elevator says, "You look very nice today." And I said, "Oh, thank you." And he says, "I hope you don't find that offensive." And I said, "No, I think it's very nice, thank you." And he said, "I don't want to get Me Too'd out of here." And I laughed, thinking you have no idea who you're talking to about this topic.
I don't know. I'm starting to revisit Weinstein. I mean,
and I think, wow.
I think Weinstein was a weirdo, but based off of, I mean, I forgot all the information, but from what I'm watching now, he don't sound like no motherfucking monster. I think he was a horrible person, you know, because I don't think it's right to leverage money or success or opportunity for sexual favors. No, I don't think that is cool. But yo, what the fuck these little things keep coming from? But what I can say is, people only do what you allow. So if you allow that to be done to you, then you can't say you a motherfucking victim. Because there's some women that ain't gonna allow that to be done. Like I was saying earlier, the real victims are the people that didn't oblige, the people that didn't get a movie role, because of these other people that people are calling victims, willing to sacrifice their body, willing to sacrifice their morals, their principles, their soul, So they got propelled or put in front of these people that just wanted their talent to be recognized. Those are the victims. We need to make them victims. Because now they can't propel in their career because they just want to act. They just want to sing. They just want their talent to show. But they can't go nowhere because these women and these guys willing to do something strange. Those are victims, y'all.
Like the pendulum is swinging too far in the other direction. And do I think that it's good that men think about their actions or women think about their responses? Or, of course. But if it goes so far that somebody thinks they can't even give you a compliment, that's when I think it's gone too far.
I saw a headline in New York Magazine the other day that said there's a special place in hell for Harvey Weinstein's lawyer. Does it hurt?
Sure. I mean, you're a human being. And I mean, to say that there's a special place in hell for me, especially when you know nothing about the other things that I do in my life. So sure, it hurts, but I know that that's not who I am. And I'm confident with that.
You're waiting for your doggy, playing slots, blackjack, and more. How about a jackpot, baby? It's all the fun of the casino floor.
New players deposit $5 and get 350 spins on a featured game, plus a deposit match up to $1,000 in bonus funds. Make any moment golden.
Coming up,
if someone's name is listed in red or priority.
Spies, lies, and alibis.
Yeah, that's a cover. That's a way in.
The dark arts of the movement to crush me too. Like Cuba, it's run by some pretty hard bastards.
I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of them.
And the actress destroyed in the process.
These are people that hurt people. I shaved years off my life.
That's next.
Mission that I've got.
He's a gun for hire. A spy digging for dirt on behalf of powerful, cashed-up clients. Oligarchs, business barons, but most notably, the notorious Harvey Weinstein.
Not there to think about, is he a nice guy? Is he a good dad? Does he pay his taxes? This was another job. This was a big executive with a problem.
The first rule of being a spy is that no one knows you're a spy. But in the widespread coverage of Weinstein, Seth's cover has been blown. And now he's revealing all to us about this sordid story. When you're filling out a form and it asks your occupation, what do you put down?
These days I put spy because I might as well admit it.
Do you love your job?
I love it.
Why?
Because one, it's a natural fit for me, and also I think, I don't have any moral issues with it.
In 2016, Seth was approached by the intelligence agency Black Cube and asked to conduct covert operations for Harvey Weinstein. He claims he was initially told Weinstein was investigating corporate rivals, not trying to defend himself against numerous accusations of sexual assault. Seth was given a hit list of 91 targets the Hollywood producer saw as threats, including the likes of actress Rose McGowan. When someone's name ended up on here, what did that mean?
If someone's name is listed in red, they're like a top priority target. But basically the idea was go through the list and try and find out who is saying negative things, because he wants a heads up as to what he thinks is going on. He wants it confirmed.
Black Cube certainly knows how to hunt a target. The firm is run by several former heads of Mossad, Israel's elite spy agency.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes him different. That's what makes him different than Diddy. That's what the whole point of this video is to say, yo, stop comparing Diddy to these guys, man. Yo, Diddy is not Harvey Weinstein. Diddy is not Jeffery Epstein. They're not even on the same planet. They're not on the same level. These guys, Jeffery Epstein created a sex trafficking ring where he had children. He had children recruiting other children at middle schools and high schools and shit. Harvey Weinstein was using his business in order to gain sexual favors from his actresses. You know what I mean? Attacking them without provocation. Locking them in rooms where they couldn't get out. Until he got what he wanted. Diddy ain't did none of that shit, man. He ain't did none of that. Diddy had freak-offs with his girlfriends. Diddy was addicted to porn. You know what I mean? So instead of him watching porn, he had money to create porn in front of him while he watched. You know what I mean? He had the money. He had whoever he had having sex, and he was over that bitch doing what the fuck he was doing. Freaky as it may sound, it's not a RICO enterprise. It's not sex trafficking. It's not rape. I ain't making nothing up. Everything I said is facts, brother. It's playing out in court.
Seth himself was
No,
also...
hell no. Diddy's probably a horrible person. Diddy did horrible things. I'm just saying Diddy didn't sex traffic nobody. Diddy wasn't running a criminal enterprise.
Previously a member of the Israeli Defense
You too,
Forces.
devilish Doug.
It's not beat around the bush, Black Cuba. It's run by some pretty hard
No, ain't nothing
bastards.
wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with baby oil, man. I think we all should have 25 bottles of baby oil on deck. You never know, you might need it. Like y'all sit there, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with having baby oil, but I think Diddy might know something we don't know. I'm gonna say this: don't knock the baby oil till you tried it. You heard me? don't knock it till you tried it, man. I think Diddy might know something that we don't know. You know what I mean? Cause we ain't freaky like that. Well, some of us, some of y'all is. Y'all some freaky motherfuckers out here in this world. Hey, man, 25 bottles might be the key. You know, in one sitting, you gotta have 25 bottles every 5 minutes. Diddy might know something. Maybe we wrong. Maybe we overlooking the effects of baby oil is for sexual gratification. Yo, I don't know. I'm just saying, I never tried it, but we could be wrong. Diddy might know something that we don't. Maybe we shouldn't demonize Diddy for that. You know, you never know until you tried it. Somebody come try it and then come back in the comments and let us know was Diddy tripping. Let us know was Diddy tripping or the baby oil is what you know what it was cracked up to be. No, the fuck he wasn't, yo. He wasn't born to Life 24. That's not true. That was a lie. More, yo, for people that's new, y'all gotta go back and watch the live I did 2 nights ago, where I detailed the lies that was told on Diddy. I showed y'all all the lies and where they came from. Those lies came from Ariel Mitchell and the fat dude that looked like T.D. Jakes. They the ones pushed all them lies. They the ones told people that Diddy was putting drugs in baby oil. They the ones told people that it was kids involved. That was a lie. Diddy suing them for $50 million for that lie. Because it's in paperwork. It's in paperwork. He got a $50 million lawsuit on them for lying like that. Telling they got Kim Porter memoirs and Kim Porter said this. All that shit was lies, man. Said they gave sexual tapes to the FBI. That shit was lies. There was kids involved. Lies. It's all lies. The media lied. And y'all believed it. And supported it. And cash apped it. And super chatted it. It was fucking lies, man. If it was true, it'd have came out in court. The prosecution has rested, y'all. And guess what? There was no children involved. The prosecution rests. There was no children involved. The prosecution rests. There was no allegations of rape. The prosecution rested and there was no other celebrities named. Y'all, how do y'all, that make y'all feel some type of way? Y'all don't feel like y'all was lied to? Like, seriously though, real question. Y'all don't feel like y'all was lied to? Manipulated? Led astray? P&R, he ordered baby oil. Yeah, ain't that wrong about for baby oil. I think Diddy might crack the code. But seriously though, real talk though, for the people that believe that shit and told their friends about it and talked about it over dinner and commented on these pages, yo, y'all don't feel like y'all was lied to? Damn. So y'all remember that? Y'all remember Diddy was taking a plea there when Diddy was taking down the industry? All those is lies. I told y'all those was lies months ago. And it's proven that those are lies, and y'all don't feel no type of way. Y'all don't be like, damn, that's fucked up. They let us on. It's just, oh, all right, fuck it, we lied. Keep going. For real, I need real answers, man. Real though, I need real answers. Cause I would feel, if I believed that shit, I would be highly upset. It is some people upset though. It is some people upset. I be saying them. They be asking in the comments. But if I believe those narratives that was put out, and I like talked about it with people and like really thought that shit was real, I would be like, damn. Them motherfuckers told me it was kids involved. That ain't the fucking. They told me Diddy had 30 victims. They told me why only 2 girls testified. Like what the fuck happened? Jaguar Wright, Gene Deal, and others. Cause I read paperwork, brother. If you wasn't new to the channel, you would know I've been saying this shit since the beginning. Ain't nobody been more right about Diddy case than me. Not one person online have been more right about Diddy case than me. Facts. that's 100% verifiable facts. I told people in January that Cassie loved to freak offs. I told y'all in January that Cassie enjoyed the freak offs. January. When the trial happened? In May? June? A lot of people love Baby O. Nothing wrong with no Baby O. You might need to try some. You know what I mean? Get your girl and Baby O up. They might enjoy it. He might be. He might be sentenced to time served. But he's not going to be found guilty on sex trafficking. He don't need to be found guilty on nothing because he didn't do nothing wrong. They trying to change the laws. They trying to... and it's fucked up that people are allowing the feds to do that. They overreaching. Is it Baby O for the Krugers only? It said Stephen A. What's up? I don't think Diddy gonna get found guilty. Y'all think the feds prove that case? Y'all think the feds prove? Y'all think the feds? See, y'all, I don't know who y'all be watching, yo. So it's easy to believe. If you watching Nancy Grace or Tissa Tells, then you ain't getting no real. You're not getting the truth. They don't even cover the defense. I got paperwork, y'all. I read it. I read the lawsuits. I read the indictment. People follow my page because I don't paraphrase. We go through the whole document. At least we're gonna read all the factual allegations. We're gonna read all the motherfucking factual allegations of the lawsuits. I told y'all them Tony Busby lawsuits is gonna get tossed out. Anybody else tell y'all that when it first happened? Everybody else like, oh my gosh, bombshell lawsuit on Diddy. This is the end. Diddy raped the girl with a remote. Like, y'all don't remember this shit? Or y'all didn't catch that part? I told y'all, Tony, but I told y'all I had a bet with a guy that the lawsuit with Jay-Z was gonna get tossed out. And what happened? Tossed out. Yo tried to bet me. Man, no, it ain't. How the fuck you know? Because it's bogus, bro. What you mean? They bogus lawsuits. Shit gonna get tossed out. He had to pay me $20 for that. And he ready to pay me another $20 because he bet me on this Diddy case and Diddy about to beat. They're guilty on what? The only thing Diddy guilty of is paying for prostitutes to cross state lines. It's the only thing he's guilty of, man. There's no proof of arson. There's no proof Diddy set Kid Cudi car on fire. You know what I mean? What's up, Barry Bonds? But do you want that to be trafficking? Think about that. Think about what you saying, Machine Gun Jelly. Do you want that to be trafficking? Yo, do you know how many people live that way? Do you know how many people live that way? That's half of the fucking entertainment industry. Yo, you don't want that to be trafficking, man. That's not only way it's gonna be trafficking is if you let it. How you gonna tell people how to live? Do you see what you're saying? Think about that. You are willing to allow the federal government to dictate how you can entertain sex with your partner. Yo, you don't want that to happen, man. No, it's not the law. It's not the law. That's some shit they trying now. That's some shit they're trying now. You're gonna make it the law. You're gonna make it the law. No, it's not, yo. Name another person they got that way. Name another person that we all know that got charged with sex trafficking and he ain't make $1 off of it. Name a person. Fuck the Constitution. That shit was written fucking 1800s, whatever the fuck it was written. Name another person that got charged with sex trafficking where he didn't make $1. A Rico. You can't name none, yo. Because I can't name none. And I checked. Typically, pimps who had hoes made money from the hoes hoeing, prostituting. Diddy didn't make a fucking $1. He didn't make $1. Yeah, so you don't got no real point. You can't say nothing. I can't talk to you. If you don't have any real points, I can't talk to you, bro. You just talking. I ask you specific questions. If you can't answer them, just say, I don't know. Don't just keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Certainly is. I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of them, but luckily, well, hopefully I'm not.
No, I asked you questions.
It's the dark arts,
I'm not just talking. I asked you questions.
That are we in agreement
you gave
on?
me no answers.
Of course it's the dark arts because that's the nature of spying.
Black Cube agents are suspected of intimidating dozens of Harvey Weinstein's accusers. The operatives, in some cases, befriending the women, even pretending to be from victims' support groups, with the intel then being sent straight back to Weinstein. Seth's tactic was simple. The seasoned spy would assume the role of a newspaper reporter, a job he genuinely once had, and then trick his targets into opening up.
Hello?
Hello? Hi.
Oh, hi, thanks for calling back.
That's the exact approach he took when he called Rose McGowan.
And I was just hoping I could maybe talk to you about a piece that we're doing.
So do you have specific questions? Or?
I said to her, like I said to pretty much everyone, I'm interested in doing a piece on life in Hollywood now, in 2017, whenever, compared to life in Hollywood when people started out, say, 20, 30 years ago.
That's straight out deception.
In what sense? Like, I mean, what deception is in, do I have an ulterior motive?
Well, you weren't working on a piece.
What if I then, let's say I did publish a piece a month later on life in Hollywood, but I was still passing that information back. Is that still straight out deception?
I mean, you're claiming that you're writing a piece. I mean, it's
No.
just fair.
I've been in enough trouble to know law though. Yo, I haven't been wrong about a case yet. I told y'all YNW Melly wasn't gonna get found guilty. The whole internet was saying, yo, Melly's done. No, he ain't. That case bogus. Too much doubt. Just like in Diddy cases, too much doubt. You got text messages. My bad. Of Cassie saying she enjoyed it.
Fanciful.
Yeah, that's a cover. I wasn't writing a piece, but I said that I was because that's a way in. And then if you were looking back at your younger self,
Rose, unfortunately, walked
Percy is a mob
right into
boss.
the trap.
Well, that's because I actually have a signed document from the time of the attack.
She trusted Seth and opened up to him in this 75-minute phone call, including detail.
I ain't say Melly. I'm talking about the first case. The first case, everybody like, yo, they got so much evidence on Melly. I say, I don't know, y'all. I'm not saying it. Too much doubt. Because Diddy been done dirty. And if they can do that shit to Diddy, they can do that shit to you. And me. And whoever else. They can do it to anybody else. See, I look at the bigger picture. I don't get caught up in my emotions. And I look at what the federal government is doing. The federal government right now has a history and it's showing a pattern of overreaching with criminal cases, overcharging people, trying to fit people under certain statutes that they don't belong. And you motherfuckers is going to allow it. And y'all not going to care until it happens to one of your loved ones, your cousin, your brother, your son, your friend. Then that's when you like, dang, yo, they did them dirty. But I'm telling you now that you need to call it out right now so it don't get to that point. But y'all don't understand. People don't ever understand until it's too late.
Detailing her abuse by Harvey Weinstein. Information that Seth then sent straight back to the boss.
Everybody commit crimes, man. Everybody commit crimes. Criminality is the American way. If you ain't committing crimes in America, what the fuck is you doing? Because everybody else is. You losing. Whether it's financial crimes, whether it's violent crimes, America is the land of the criminals. Meat Mander. I don't know if maybe you didn't know. Maybe you left out. Yeah, but the people that commit crimes doing better. I promise you.
Would you describe yourself as a moral person?
What does a moral person, I mean, against what benchmark is morality set? As long as I can live with what I do, and I've never had a sleepless night thinking, oh, that's so evil what I do or have done.
But there were... Come on, live a little. Alleged victims of sexual assault, who many cases where they say that these double agents came to them, of which you were one of them, and it did muddy the waters for them, and it made them hesitant then to come forward and speak out because they didn't know who they could trust. And like it or not, that silences people.
Sorry, there's one person who says that. That's Rose McGowan.
Black Cube came after you personally.
Yeah.
What toll did that take on you?
Okay.
I think it shaved years off my life. I think them coming after me spun my brain and still does in a way that's fractured a part of me that I don't think will
I'll
ever
be here in
fix.
5 years.
But these are people that hurt people, and that's their job.
I ain't going nowhere.
Their job is to hurt other people, so, I hope they're proud at night.
Rose McGowan was targeted by Black Cube because she was seen as a threat.
I feel scared here. I don't feel safe.
Like many of Weinstein's rape accusers, Rose was intimidated into signing a non-disclosure agreement, paid $100,000 to stay silent.
I went to a therapist in New York for trauma issues, and she suggested I get a puppy.
Almost 2 decades after her attack in the wake of Me Too, Rose finally garnered the strength to share her story. But she quickly learned it wasn't just Weinstein she was taking on. In your mind, you're at war.
Yes. I have been, ever since I got raped.
But the thing with Harvey Weinstein is he has an army behind him.
He has a real one. But he has an army of spies, lawyers, minions. It's an army of the complicit, of people that are going to the mat for a serial rapist. Because he makes movies that win an Oscar? What?
Do you see it just basically as evil?
Yes, it is evil. It's literally a web of evil.
It's like she's got a screw loose. She's not hero and I'm villain unless you in a very childlike, someone has to be good and someone has to be bad. I mean, her saying I do the bidding of evil, still I'll probably sleep tonight, I reckon. Yeah.
Coming up.
Massage something.
No, I'm shy.
Inside the plot to catch a monster in the act.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now.
Coming now.
And how this brave model
Ain't no video of Diddy doing none of that.
Yeah, big time.
outsmarted a mogul.
It's like David and Goliath.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
Y'all hear any audio? Did y'all have any audio where Diddy was forcing himself on somebody? I don't think we heard none of that audio come out in court.
I will mentor you, I teach you, whatever, but you have to, relax with me, have fun, enjoy,
You're listening to Harvey Weinstein in full flight. Part of this secretly recorded audio from 2015 has only just been released.
What?
Massage something.
No, I'm shy.
I know, but a massage something.
Diddy ain't doing none of that.
Hard evidence of Weinstein pressuring a young woman into his hotel room.
Is he at the bar? No, we must come here now.
Not today, maybe. No.
A little bit.
Please. No, I don't want to.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
Threatening her and her.
Y'all heard any of that in court in Diddy case? Stop comparing Diddy to these niggas, man. They ain't the same.
Career.
If you don't trust me, then we have no reason to do anything, and you lose big opportunities.
Harvey Weinstein paid $1 million to have that audio destroyed, and it's pretty obvious why. It shows just how sleazy and manipulative the movie mogul could be. But that was just a taste of his tactics, as the woman you heard there, Amber Battalana, found out. Intimidation, attack dogs, media manipulation. They were all part of his arsenal to abuse and silence vulnerable young women. But as you'll see, this victim outsmarted Weinstein. Amber moved to New York at the age of 22 to further her modelling career, and soon after was headhunted by Harvey Weinstein for a casting at his office. That morning, it quickly became clear that while she was there for work, he was there for pleasure.
He kept saying, so nice to see you again, so nice to see you again. And anyway, there was a moment he stared at me and asked me, "Is your breast real?" And I'm like, what? Yes?
First, it was Weinstein's eyes on Amber. Quickly, it was his hands.
It was first my breast, and then he put his hand on my leg and tried to kiss me.
Yeah, Diddy wasn't doing none of that.
Yeah, it was very fast. Like, I couldn't even react.
Amber was horrified and fled the office, soon after breaking down in tears and then going straight to police.
When I spoke to the police guy, I said, Harvey Weinstein assaulted me. And he answered, again? And I'm like, what do you mean again? This happened before?
We've always
I
been
think Harvey Weinstein was a serial assaulter.
One of us always had to be
100
first.
women. Diddy got 2 girlfriends that's on the stand saying he sex trafficked them.
Police were desperate to land the big fish, so asked Amber to take a huge risk. They wanted her to wear a wire and meet Weinstein for a drink at a hotel bar the very next night.
I was so distressed, but I really want people to believe me. Like, it was my voice of a 22-year-old model against, that powerful person. It's like David and Goliath.
Yesterday you touched my wrist.
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that.
Are you used to that?
Yes, come in. Please come in. On everything. I'm a famous guy.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right
Please
now.
come in now. I will never do another thing to you. 5 minutes. Don't ruin your friendship with me for 5 minutes.
It's amazingly brave that you managed to record this, because when you listen to Harvey in that mode, he's scary.
Yeah, it is scary. I mean, you have big, strong man in front of you, and you know that is aggressively pushing with his words, but for sure at one
he was
point
down bad for
is
real.
gonna push with his
He definitely was down bad.
body.
This recording was exactly what police needed. They brought Weinstein in for questioning the following day.
Yeah, Weinstein is a
But
creep.
he fought fire with fire, spearheading a salacious smear
See,
campaign in the media.
Weinstein was a creep. Diddy just a freaky motherfucker, man. Like, I just want to show people, because people might have forgot. Because I said mainstream media been making this correlation for who knows how long now. I forgot. Man, y'all shouldn't get done, man. Then people might have forgot what Harvey Weinstein actually did.
Discredit his victim.
She once filed a sexual assault suit against a 70-year-old, quote, sugar daddy.
It worked. Amber found herself under siege when she met with the district attorney's sex crimes chief.
Look what they did. That lets you know this is real. They ran a media slander campaign. Doug, familiar? That says that you can pay the media to slander a person. Who would have thought that? Who would have known that you could do that, man? You can actually pay the media to run articles on people? Push false narratives? That's the thing? Did y'all know that? Or is this breaking news to everybody? Did y'all know that you can actually pay the media to push false narratives? Or did we all just learn this today? Because this is what I've been saying. They've been doing to Diddy since the beginning. But maybe I'm wrong.
Once filed a sexual assault suit against a 70-year-old, quote, sugar daddy.
It worked. Amber found herself under siege when she met with the district attorney's sex crimes chief a few days later.
First moment I saw her, I said, great, she's a woman. First question she asked me, were you a prostitute? And I'm like, what, sorry? Did you hear the recordings? And she's like, yeah, I heard that, but could you answer me these questions? Have you ever had a whole boyfriend?
It must have felt like that was
that was
Harvey
a valid
Weinstein's
fucking
own
question.
personal lawyer attacking you at that stage.
Yeah, I walked out of that room and I said inside my head, that's not good. That's not gonna be good.
How do you achieve the ultimate shopping experience? Choose a Cub Cadet dealership.
Motherfucker should ask
Discover a
Cassie
wide
that.
range of Cub Cadet mowers.
And she was right. Weinstein once again turned to the dark arts, this time paying a friend of the district attorney to dig up dirt on Amber and feed it back to the DA's office. Not long after that, the investigation was dropped. Eventually, Amber caved to the constant intimidation and harassment and signed a non-disclosure agreement in return for $1 million. Another victim had been silenced, or so they thought.
For signing this NDA, they asked me to destroy every single piece of evidence of those recordings.
They underestimated you.
Yeah, big time. Very much.
I need to know a person's every touch.
Do a thing.
Thankfully, before submitting to their demands, Amber downloaded a secret copy of the recording and hid it under lock and key for more than 2 years. Now, she's violating that $1 million gag order to share her story and this rare piece of evidence with us tonight. Her message is clear. She'll do whatever it takes to show the world that Harvey Weinstein is a twisted and dangerous man. When you were finally able to release that audio and show everyone just what Harvey Weinstein was like, how empowering did that feel?
I think that day I smiled for 20 hours straight. And me thinking more than myself of all the other women. I did something that helped others. And that's what I, was most proud of myself for doing.
Coming up,
the road to justice is long.
Oh,
waiting
man, we ain't
for a
laughing,
jury.
right?
For those who are victims.
No, we don't respect her here. We don't respect her at all. Get the fuck out my motherfucking screen. She's a goddamn liar. A manipulator. She one of the ones they call when Showtime. She a Showtime lawyer. Her, Tony Busby, all the rest of the motherfuckers. Yo Mitchell. It's probably some more Tyrone Blackburn. I mean, they the lawyers you call when it's time to slander somebody. Yeah, man, we call up the slander. That's the slander team. Now, Wack 100 got the exposers. Gloria Red, Tony Busby, that's the slander team, man. Whenever we need a false narrative or agenda push, get Gloria on the phone. She's down with it all. She don't have no morals. You feel me? She don't have no morals. She don't have no integrity. All she want is the limelight and the bag to go with it. She'll do anything. She probably went to a few freak offs in her day. Now think about it. Well, I already probably been quid pro quo a few times. You know what I mean? That's probably why she speak out against it. That she got up. She done got up doing it, now speaking out against it. She a dirty motherfucker, man. Some dirty people out there in this world, man. Yeah. Yeah, he was wild, y'all. Motherfucker, Weinstein. I just wanted to show y'all the difference, y'all. So you heard what he was doing. He was using his connections in the industry and his business to lure potential actors into sex. Then you got Epstein, who was just, I don't know what the fuck you call this nigga. His ass was out here sending kids to recruit other kids for sex acts. And then you got Diddy, who had girlfriends, multiple girlfriends, and every now and then he had freak off girlfriends. Yo, they not the same at all. Stop letting people make that correlation. Next time you see somebody speak about that shit like that, block them. Because they lying. They pushing false narratives. They not interested in telling the truth. They just trying to sell you a story. You know what I mean? They trying to sell you a dream. Yeah, for real. They're trying to sell you a dream. But y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm off tomorrow, so we're gonna be live sometime during the day. I don't know what time we're gonna go live though, but it's gonna be during the day. Then we're gonna do the 11 o'clock live at night. Yeah, man. But make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button if you can. It's another day. Keep what you need in the month.